It says on my thing that we're live, so let's just pretend that we are. Too real on, what day is this? Wednesday. Guilty Angel's here. She's on a rocket ship to the moon. I'm glad she can still pick us up wherever she's going. Man, that internet, it goes a long ways. How you feeling, Angela?
Stuffed. I ate too much.
You ate too much.
I don't know if you're live.
We are live. I can assure you of it. You did this yesterday. We don't want to do this every day. We're live.
Oh, here we go. There's a delay.
Yeah.
I got a delay here, you know.
Well, welcome to
All right, I'm with you.
the delay. You
Forgive
are with me. How are you?
I'm a little stuffed.
Yeah.
A little bit comatose, probably.
You ate too much of your faux tuna sandwich.
Yes.
Angela made chickpea faux tuna sandwiches for those of you who might be
I'm
interested
sure everyone's
in the future.
waiting with bated breath to find out what I ate
What
for dinner.
was it that filled her up? It was great. I loved it. Thank you for it.
We have so much to talk about today.
We do. We have a lot to talk about. What's up, Guilty Angel? What's going on? Are you feeling good?
Hope so.
Yeah, it's...
I know shit's getting real, bro, in the cities.
Yes.
It's no fun. But hopefully, hopefully the cities are big enough that it doesn't have to affect everybody.
Right.
I am really eager to talk about how the Wayfarer parties lost again today in Judge Lyman's federal court.
They lost again today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's wait for a few minutes because we got some people coming, I'm sure, because we only got Guilty Angel and ourselves and one other potentially, according to the whatever. But so do you want to wait? You want to hang on? You don't want to wait?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
People can start from the start. Start from the start.
Okay then. I thought, could have a little small talk, but Angela wants to get right to fucking business. Let's go. But I mean, if we're gonna get right to business, let's not get right into the mean, beef. Well, I guess maybe that isn't. Go ahead.
Okay. So, Stephanie Jones with her Jones Works lawsuit against the Wayfarer parties,
right? There
for
was a
breach of
motion.
contract and all this other bullshit,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, not bullshit. I mean, she's got really credible claims. Okay.
Yeah.
So she was trying to compel Jamie Heath to be deposed, but the Wayfarer parties just dropped a bunch of discovery, right? Because they were compelled to after dragging their feet for so long.
Uh-huh.
And so they wanted to look over this discovery before deposing him. So they were going to try and delay his deposition. However, Wayfarer is trying to prevent Jamie Heath from being deposed by saying that he's not the officer of Wayfarer that they claimed that he was. They're basically saying like, oh, actually, he wasn't the boss. You shouldn't depose Jamie Heath because he's actually not the boss that we said he was.
So they're trying to demote him?
They tried to demote him.
Because why? Because maybe at the time he hadn't been promoted yet? Because he did get promoted at one point.
Yeah, he was. Yes.
He was promoted.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, and he is exactly who was making the decisions for the Wayfarer account with the publicist Jonesworks. So
Which
she's
we've
like,
seen plenty of evidence for that.
she's
And
like-
we've seen also him interfacing with Sony.
exactly.
So we know he's there playing head
Stephanie
of the
Jones
company.
is like, I was working with you. You're the guy. Like, this is definitely, you're definitely the person who we want to talk to and depose. Like, we're good. So they had to file a motion to compel, and the
Yes.
judge granted it.
Yeah.
So Jamie
So
Heath
now he
was-
has to sit for a deposition?
Yes, like he was before.
So it's going to be interesting to see if whether or not that means that they're just going to have, Gottlieb, Lively is my case.
Yeah,
Lively depose, Lively, have Gottlieb depose at the same time. Do their deposition on Heath at the same time. It'll be very interesting to see if that actually goes down.
Yeah, I wonder. It would definitely make sense it would benefit everybody, I think, if they could just do the depositions at the same time instead of like scheduling several days.
Erica's like, Angela's ready to talk. Hello. Yeah, she's ready to go, man. She's like, no, we're not waiting. Now's the time. You and your fucking small talk can just, hey, listen, we might at some point have to like dig into all these. I went and I poked the hornet's nest.
Oh?
Yeah, this moon in
Which hornets?
this moon in Aries, this full moon in Aries. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's made me a little mischievous.
It's made you a little feisty.
Yeah, because I normally just I just mind my fucking business.
Yeah.
But I'm like reading this, it ends with lawsuits. Was this pro Baldoni sub on
Subreddit?
Reddit? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm fucking, And I just poked that shit. Because like it just got on my nerves. They're so fucking annoying. And then like I did it again this morning. This morning I went after 3 comments like in a row because it's just, I mean the absolute
I have to stay out of those places because I'm such a correctosaurus, you know? Yeah. Like everybody hates having that person around that's like always being like, it's actually pronounced this way. Like, and I'm not that bad.
Yeah.
But that's definitely how I am in these sort of spaces where I'm like, actually, I know that you guys are lying or that you don't know all the facts. And so let me inform you. Like, I'm trying to be a helper, but nobody wants to hear that shit. And so that's what you were doing, right? They were like, there's no evidence of SH. And you're like, well, if you just turn up to page 33 of Baldoni's timeline exhibit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Same shit that we've been doing on the live forever.
Yeah, yeah. Traverse is here and says, Traverse is such a great name, by the way.
Yeah.
Really like it. It doesn't even roll off the tongue. It just like, it's just a great word. Your book is good, the sample chapters. Well, I'm so glad you think so. I think it gets better and better as it goes. I hope it does. But you can always ask the folks who are here, and obviously I already like the book. So, would you sacrifice Don's Plum and Too Real, 2 very good pieces of media, in exchange for being unblacklisted? Huh.
If you sacrifice Don's Plum, that means that you're starting out not having been a filmmaker.
I guess if I could go back in time, I would just skip the whole Hollywood experience.
And go to Europe.
And I would just hunker down on, I guess, look, the truth is that I have had no true I've had balls, but no confidence. Loads of balls, though. Like I'm up on stages doing stand-up. I'm jumping one country to another, chasing dreams. Just balls for days. But really, really, imposter syndrome, and I still have it. You know this. I had it much worse then because now I have actually done some shit that's lasted, and my book is really good, and I know that. So I don't feel so much as an imposter, but for the fact that I feel like, like I'm at the foot of the mountain, So in retrospect, I would put all my confidence in myself and not my dreams, my hopes and dreams in other people. And that's what I did in Hollywood. I put my hopes and dreams into their hands.
I think I can identify where I believe you could have like turned, it was like a fork in the road.
Yeah.
And you could have taken the other direction and it would have panned out better.
Yeah.
And this happened after all of the conflict. So Don's Plum was made and then it was blocked by Leo and Toby. And you were in Denmark and you were finishing your movie. And then you were, you had to come back because of a crisis at home.
Right.
And I think that if in that moment you had figured out a way to just leave the U.S. behind and stay in Denmark and continue to work with the people at Zentropa.
That was another opportunity.
That I think that you would have been able to begin a new path that would have suited you.
Yeah, I did. There was a couple.
Because Europe didn't give a fuck what Leo and Toby were doing to your movie.
Presumably.
Well, they finished your film and then it was premiered in
at that
Berlin.
Time. It appeared as though that was the case. It was a weird time for Zentropa. They were shooting porn at the same time, gay porn.
Yeah.
At the same time that they were making on the lot. At the same time that they were making Dancer in the Dark. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, they're the sort of group of investors that are behind, or were at least at that time behind Zentropa, and these are like the usual suspects: Channel 4, BBC, these kinds of like big Canal Plus kind of these guys, and they put pressure on Zentropa with the gay porn. When we got to Denmark and we got on the Zentropa lot, Peter Albeck Jensen was like, he found out Jerry was gay, and he was like, oh, you're gay? We're shooting a movie called Hot Men Cool Boys. You want to go take a look? Hot Man Cool Boys. Jerry's like, no, I don't.
Hot Man Cool Boys?
Hot Man Cool Boys. It was, and you could look it up. I'm sure it's out there.
That is such like an English as a second language kind of title for a porn.
Hot Men Cool Boys. And it's this gay porn that was produced by Zentropa.
I love that.
At the same time that they were doing Dancer in the Dark and posting both our film, Don's Plum, and Julian Donkey Boy.
That's what I mean, is like, I think that you could have just stayed with those people and you would have made some sort of connection to somewhere that you could continue to work because you were so eager and creative. And I think that when you came back, it was very evident that that had been the wrong choice, because right after that you had to go back into like sales work and your relationship was wrong for you.
Oh no, I was
like,
definitely training on the wrong track.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this about the whole thing, though. This question brings up this really great thing about they're just thinking about your own fate. Like, this is obviously my story, but we all have these moments.
Yeah, of course.
And in my moment, there's really like, I think turning my back on Don's Plum would be turning my back on my destiny. In so much as like Don's Plum
that's right.
was a level of art that I knew was me. Like I was it.
It's not just that, but I think that in the context of the kind of movies everybody was making, you had a really, really important advancement to create in that context.
I mean, none of
right?
that was mattering to me at all, right? Like what mattered to me was that like I had this communion with my destiny. Like it was there. It happened. I saw everything I was supposed to be while I was in Los Angeles. It started with sessions and working with Marissa Ryan and realizing that filmmaking was more fluid and more dynamic, or could be more fluid and more dynamic. You know, going into it, when I was in Winnipeg as a stand-up comedian, I was taking production classes, film production. And when I took like this series, it was like I spent $1,500 on it, and it's like so-called experts who work in the Canadian film industry who are going to put you through the rigors, you know. And so, I signed up for this whole thing, and as I went through that course, I was like, oh my fucking God, how do you guys get anything goddamn made? How do you get anything made? Because there was so much planning into getting one damn shot off in this course that I was just like, the weight of it was so immense.
I think it's really funny that...
so I went there with that preconceived... I'm sorry, I just started to interrupt, but I just wanted to finish the establishing that. So when I got to Los Angeles, with this preconceived notion that there was this very stringent, very regimented, force behind making films. And so I wanted to be the actor. That's why I was like, dude, I need the easy way out on this one.
Yeah, right.
I need the easy way, because acting is the easy way out. I mean, that is not in any way to diminish the talent and scope of actors and their ability and their importance. But in terms of the actual application on the film, it really is the easy way out, or it seemed that way at least. I wouldn't say that that's necessarily true altogether. Certainly we see what actors can put themselves through in order to get a performance.
Yeah, but also like in terms of the time spent.
But time spent.
The people behind the camera.
Yeah, there's a lot more sacrifice to it, typically. Not always, but typically. So anyway, absolutely fucking, sort of, for me at least, I don't think I could lose that moment with Don's Plum and lose, because that became my identity, and not the movie itself, but what I was doing. I mean, the movie itself became identity also. I mean, I had to assume that identity in order to save the movie. But before I had to try to rescue Don's Plum was this discovery of who I was as an artist.
I'm trying to pull up this.
Mr. Hen said, Julian Donkey Boy wasn't actually a donkey boy. He was literally just a person, and that was thoroughly disappointing. That's fantastic, dude. Angela, why are you missing out on the jokes?
I'm actually trying to find this thing. So you were saying that when you were in Canada and you saw how films were made there, that it was all very, very
structured and
very structured.
Difficult. And
yeah. And I was trying to find just real quick the Leonardo DiCaprio's answer to a question in his deposition, where he's being like all high and mighty about how you couldn't have made a film that was worth, participating in.
It's in the book, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's like, it might be in a different one, actually. I think the one in your book is more about,
in the book, it's there too as well.
He really only has like 2 prepared statements that he wants to make in his deposition. And every other question where he can't make that prepared statement, he like waits for the time because he's really skilled, right?
Yeah.
So every other question he just completely dismisses. He says, I don't remember, or I don't, I don't understand the question, and he'll delay. He has got all these really obnoxious delay tactics where he's trying to get people to define like really normal, obvious words. There's a mosquito here.
I know, one just flew past my eye.
I know.
Like, and it just like
It's taunting us.
It was
I'm being hunted.
It created this almost numbing sensation on the corner of my eye because it was just like, oh, I was like,
horrible, like a kamikaze pilot. Okay, so DiCaprio says that the reason why he knew why he's upset that you guys made a film, right?
Yeah.
He was like, I've been on sets. I know how films are made. There's a structure to it. There's like this,
he says months of rehearsal, which is not true.
Months and months of rehearsal and all of this. And he's like, there's, it's like a big production and that's how films are made. This that we made wasn't a film. And I just think that it's just like so unbelievably arrogant and ignorant to have actually participated in this new kind of filmmaking and still say that that's not how it's done. Well, like, clearly, bro, you participated in a way in which it is done that is not like that.
I think
this was even after he did he was in Man in the Iron Mask, which is like notorious for being one of the worst, most expensive, most disastrous productions ever. Like, apparently it was just like, it was comical how bad that production was. So that's what he's referencing when he's saying how films are supposed to be made.
Well, he'd made Titanic, but
yeah, I know. Of course, he's got experience making films that obviously were well made and worked and everything. He didn't try and block those. He tried to block the one that was made experimentally and then claim later that it was illegitimate from the beginning because it was made in this other way that he apparently thinks is invalid.
I mean, I want to get back to the point that you were making that I think is the most important of all that, which is that he had this moment, he had this like crossroads in his career where he had participated in, and when you read the book, you get to understand the scope and the level of his participation. It's pretty deep. It's not just the performance that he made in Don's Plum. He made many other contributions to this movie, both directly and indirectly, and so and that this movie did in fact innovate our space. Mm-hmm. It didn't have to be like absolutely breakthrough. We weren't digging holes in studio floors, but we were like doing some cool shit, and.
That's a Citizen Kane reference.
That is a Citizen Kane reference. But if he's gonna like, it is such a shame, and this is why I get so angry and I get so, like whatever, crazy about how he's given nothing back to indie film, because this was his moment.
Yeah, to shit on it like that.
Yeah.
Like to say that any other way than this like big studio production method is somehow invalid, and that he's the authority about how films should be made. He's like fucking 20 years old or some shit. No, he's what, 22 in his depositions? Like, what the fuck do you know, bro? Like, he's never made a film at this point. No. He's been in them, but he never made one.
Yeah.
And he certainly doesn't know what all went into creating your film because he was out of town all the time.
The worst part about it for Don's Plum, in terms of, poor Don's Plum here, is that when Don's Plum was made and would have come out, it would have been ahead of pretty much it should have been ahead of every, if we had our way, RD and I, it would have been ahead of everything. It would have been ahead of Romeo and Juliet. It would have been ahead of Titanic. Would have been ahead of all of that.
Yeah.
And so then it would have been allowed to live within its means.
Right.
And that, that's really important to me because, like,
I know it's such a shame that it came out in 2001 and had to be compared in 2001 era time.
Not just the 2001 era time, because there were still some great indies coming out then. I think Chuck and Buck was right around then, but
1997 was very different.
But where I'm going is that Leonardo DiCaprio had already established himself as like a big budget movie star.
Yeah.
And so now there was a new expectation. We talked about this a little bit, I think, in another live. But, when you go out there, like, I feel bad for movie stars and musicians. I was thinking this about Taylor Swift with this album. It's like every time they put out something new, it's being held up against their greatest performance or their greatest work.
Right.
And so Don's Plum now suddenly had this great disadvantage because Don's Plum was a movie that was made before Leonardo DiCaprio brushed independent films off of his sleeve and embraced only, kissed the ring, if you will, of high studio production, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, if you just look at where...
I think that's a profoundly important statement about this movie. This movie got thrown so desperately out of context the minute that happened. The worst case scenario is that Don's Plum would have come out around the same time as Romeo and Juliet. That would have been the worst case scenario for Don's Plum. We were going to be in the 1997 Sundance Film Festival, and so maybe we run into that movie. Maybe. We try to avoid it. Maybe we do a fall or late summer release, depending on where Baz was putting that movie. Mm-hmm. Or not Baz, but the studio. And so So funny how everybody gives the credit. Even me, I'm giving like the director credit for fucking when the movie comes out. The
Yeah.
fucking most
It's not
ridiculous
up to
thing.
him.
It's absolutely did not happen ever. You know, and so then Don's Plum now gets, you know, that horrible fucking, you know, like, oh, this is so gross, because now people are into this polished Leonardo DiCaprio. They're into this big production guy. And of course, you know, yeah, I mean, he came out with that fucking absolutely disastrous Man in the Iron Mask, which, you know, wasn't a disaster in the box office. It did fine. It did like 100 and change. Or
No, but
whatever it was.
apparently, if you look up the
He made
production
it
of
for
that,
fucking nothing.
if you look up the production of that movie, it was like one thing after another after another.
And he's working with the formerly great Gerard Depardieu, who is going to jail.
Yeah.
Who's going to go to jail and probably spend a good portion of the rest of his life in jail for
He's a predator.
sexually assaulting women.
Dude's a predator.
All the way up until recently, too. These guys are just fucking unbelievable, man.
And well, if you don't
They're
stop
everywhere.
them, they don't stop.
Bobo's here. Traverse is here. Mr. Hand, I said, is here, as you know. Kindly DiCaprio. She loves Don's Plum. It's inspiring to her. I'm so glad. It should be, because it's supposed to like also be a film that says that everything is within our grasp. Everything was, you know, that we want is within our grasp as filmmakers. You know, it's another great lesson it's another great lesson. Don's Plum is another great lesson in the depth of creativity that lies and lives within limitations. And this is where I think like most people, even myself, can get lost in what we're really truly here to be and do as artists. Speaking of which, by the way, we always have let's have a little AI stab. We'll do our little AI stabs, I think, on a regular basis for as long as I'm on this earth and being, you know, and speaking to anybody. Fuck AI in the creative space. And what was the director? Can you find that quote you had earlier today from that director?
Oh, crap.
See if you can fucking,
crud.
We'll see if, crud.
You know, I would like to, if we do this often enough, I'll be able to prepare, because I have a lot of really interesting little tidbits about AI and how it's making everybody nuts and how it's making everybody more stupid. Okay, let me see. I read something to you earlier today that you're hoping that I find again.
Yeah, there was a guy, it was a director, and somebody was asking him about using AI for some transitions.
Oh my God, okay, I know where this is.
And it wasn't David O. Russell, but it could have been.
Sorry. Okay. David Simon. He's the
Simon.
creator of The Wire.
Oh yeah, the creator of The Wire, dude. So the creator of The Wire
This isn't recent. I think this is a...
It doesn't matter. But he's being
couple years ago.
interviewed. Doesn't matter when it was. It was when we found it. It's now. It's fucking now.
Okay, so listen. So he was being interviewed by NPR. Ari Shapiro was interviewing him.
Yeah.
And David Simon, who's the creator of The Wire, and he's done a bunch of other stuff. Do you want to look up what else he's done?
Sure.
He's really prolific, super, super smart, like makes the kind of shows that changes the way
Who
people
we talking
make
about?
shows. David Simon.
Oh, David Simon. Yeah, he's a big fucking deal. I mean, David Simon. There's so many David Simons. David Simon Shapiro? No.
David Simon, The Wire.
Yeah. David Simon, The Wire. He's an American author. I didn't know that. He's a writer of books. He's 65 years old. My guy.
Okay, well, can you tell me what else he made in TV?
I'm working on it.
Because if not, I'll just read this until you figure it out.
Go right ahead and read it.
Okay, so Shapiro at NPR says, okay, so you've spent your career creating television without AI, and I could imagine today you thinking, boy, I wish I had had that tool to solve those thorny problems. Simon's like, what? He continues, he goes, or saying, Simon's like, you imagine that? He just continues oblivious. Or saying, boy, if that had existed, it would have screwed me over. David Simon responds, he goes, I don't think AI can even remotely challenge what writers do at a fundamental creative level. And Ari Shapiro continues, he goes, but if you're trying to transition from scene 5 to scene 6 and you're stuck with that transition, you could imagine plugging that portion of the script into AI and saying, give me 10 ideas for how to transition this. And David Simon replies, he goes, I'd rather put a gun in my mouth.
Oh my God. I couldn't agree more.
Like, I can't believe that Ari Shapiro just kept talking and didn't recognize the look on David Simon's face.
I can't believe the guy is like asking these fucking questions, man. Like, what you're literally looking at a filmmaker and then trying to like entice him into it. This guy like probably he's probably like an addict. He's probably like a fucking AI addict. And he's like, what do you mean? You wouldn't like want to put a Band-Aid on your problem with AI?
Oh my God, I know. And so, but I love this example because this is such an extreme polarity of viewpoints here.
Yeah.
Like David Simon is on the opposite end of the spectrum of AI acceptance.
Yeah.
He is absolutely, he was like, I would rather fucking die.
Yeah, I would rather fucking die.
than use AI to create
even for something and to me, I mean, I couldn't believe that he would. One of the things I pride myself in everything that I work on is transition. Like transition
Especially
is the
that
art.
example.
It is the art and the craft.
So when
you can't fucking have pacing in a book or a screenplay or a movie if you don't understand the value of transitions.
That he used that of all examples.
Oh my God.
Shows how little he knows about art and artists and how much they take pride in. Like, what if you had AI like mix your own paint hues before you did a big painting? Pollock.
Oh my
Jackson
God.
Pollock, you know?
Oh my God.
Okay, so I just love this
AI.
example because this is exactly
AI.
as extreme as I feel about it. I feel like get that shit out of my face.
Yeah.
I want to be able to have the choice of like excluding it completely from my life. This is a brand new thing that I am just not interested in.
I mean, we're going to expand the debate now because like my debate is on the creativity of AI. I do see some real world practicalities. But whether or not they should or shouldn't happen, I wish AI wasn't going to happen. It's going to happen. So forget about it. So let me finish.
Okay.
AI is going to happen. There's no fucking doubt.
You keep calling it that. It's not even AI. We don't have another word for it, but artificial intelligence doesn't exist.
Come on. I mean, of course I'm calling it AI. I'm
not talking about you.
Into philosophical
I'm saying
debates.
that it's a bummer that we don't have another word for it because it's a language model.
Okay.
There is no such thing yet.
It doesn't matter. My point I'm trying to make is that AI, whatever it is not going the fuck away. AI is going to be here. So what I would like to do is do whatever I can to try and influence people away from using it in the creative spectrum. And the reason is because there is no possibility that AI can replace a true creative being. It's impossible because we work from our experience. We work from within, and AI has no within. So AI is just a collage board, and art is, and the most beautiful example of it, and well, not the most beautiful, but a wonderful example of it is go to a painting class, and there's going to be a model or an object that is going to be the subject for all of those painters in their class. And they're all going to each individually be painting that very same fucking model in the same light, obviously from their unique angle. And they're all each going to come up with their own unique fucking painting that has its own style, that has its own thing. And all that style is going to come out of who they are as a being. And who they are as a being is an accumulation of their entire experience to that point in time and really ongoing. And so this is why AI is impossible for the task of creative. But listen, I use it. I'll give you a good example. I'm using it now in my editing AI. Now it's not cloud-based AI. It's not feeding a AI model. It's DaVinci Resolve, and they have this simple program. It's fucking groundbreaking actually, but it's relatively simple in terms of what it does. So in my rough cuts of what would be a two camera angle talkie, you and me, right? I talk, you talk, right? That's how this conversation usually goes when you're not just staring at your phone the whole goddamn fucking show. I'm kidding, of course.
No, I'm trying to send you this because I think that you should put this up. This is definitely.
But are you hearing what I'm saying though? Like
I'm listening to you, bro.
Our conversation goes back and forth, and the AI that I use understands that, and so it just cuts the conversation when I start and then when you start. It's very simple AI.
Yeah, and what you're talking about is that you're using DaVinci Resolve editing software.
Yes.
And they have this built in. So it's not like you're choosing to use an AI, whatever app or fucking whatever.
I'm using the AI tool within the DaVinci Resolve software, which is an independent AI program. In other words, it's not sitting. It doesn't feed off of what I give it. It's not connected to the cloud. So it's tantamount to using. It's the same kind of AI you would consider a calculator in that regard. It's just highly sophisticated compared to a calculator. So it does, but it's not. So it's like you could argue that it's making creative choices because it's making this cut, but it's really not, because the cuts that it does are very standard back and forth talkie cuts. Is the point I'm making?
Yeah.
So it's the same as, for example, using a calculator. Even though I could sit here and do the equation manually, right? A calculator will just get me to the same space that I can get on my own in a more efficient manner. And that's exactly what this AI does. So I'm making this distinction because I do understand, and another good example is that we all use as creators is for your subtitles. You know, I'm gonna sit there and fucking write out and create individual graphics for each one, time it exactly. We'll never get a video out. It's impossible. So we're gonna use AI for specific tasks that make sense, but aren't creative decisions. I mean, in the sense that we're using them creatively, like, for example, the AI subtexts or subtitles, you know, we might make certain aesthetic choices so that they like match maybe our look or whatever it might be. And so to that extent, we're adding creative choices. But I think I'm making my point, which is that there are things, and this is where it's hard to draw the lines because we're in this early stages. And it's important that we, like, rejection, objection, these are all important, I think, steps in understanding how to deal with AI, but we're going to have to work with it. So it's important, I think, also to make sure that we create definition around it, you know, because if we don't do that, then, well, first of all, if you don't do that, then the lines are blurred, and you're gonna probably start using AI in a way that's going to wrongfully influence you as an artist, you know, or even maybe turn you into more of a fraud than an artist.
I can't believe that that Ari Shapiro at NPR was trying to tell David Simon that it would be advantageous for him to turn his writing exercises into a multiple choice quiz. He was like, if you input the scenes into AI and you ask it for 10 transitions and you select one, so it's like multiple choice, like, why on earth? Okay, it's like you can't really explain to somebody that doesn't already recognize how offensive that is as a concept. You know,
well, you can't.
To an artist who's like, I'm very proud of the artistic output that I generate, right? Like myself.
If you do this, your work will have no soul.
I have a creative mind, and I'm so glad you mentioned that. Will you go to the folder? I just dropped a video there that I think would be really fun to talk about. You haven't seen this yet, but this is Werner Herzog was on the Conan O'Brien show, which is just already hilarious to me because Conan O'Brien is like a comedian, obviously, really smart, really witty comedian. And then Werner Herzog is like the biggest fucking, most serious guy. I don't think he's.
I mean, he's pretty funny too.
I know, but it's so different. He's scary when he's funny.
Which folder?
It's in the Too Real folder, and
I'll always check there first.
It's just a video that I just labeled Werner Herzog AI.
Werner
Herzog. So he was apparently he was asked about, what do you think about AI movies? And Werner Herzog had strong feelings about it, just like the rest of us do. I don't know, man. I don't know why it's being foisted on us. I can't believe that everything is progressing in a manner that it doesn't seem like anybody wants it, but yet we're all being made to deal with it.
I don't know, man.
Like, can't we say no? We're not even allowed to say no. It's just everywhere.
It's not going to happen. It's already it's so deeply ingrained in the internet already that it's a wrap. AI is
my
here
question
to
is,
stay.
I don't know why it wasn't something we could opt into and seek out.
I hate to say that it's like a kind of a pointless conversation because it's here. It's not going to go anywhere. The time to opt out. There was never a time to opt out. You're not in me. I'm not in control. You're not in control of this. We have no ability to. This is basically government policy at this point.
So I wanted to put this on because you said something about AI and not having a soul.
Yeah, I did. I just said that if you do things like you were talking about using the transitions, this guy using transition, using AI to give him 10 prompts, or using a prompt to get 10 ideas, and if you use an AI in this manner, your work will have no soul, and you will be tricked into believing that it does. You will be tricked because it is smart enough. AI, it is smart enough to be able to give you some structure and some ideas, and it'll make you look like it'll make you feel like you've got like this is real. This is it. This is the best I've ever sounded. Hilarious.
Yeah. Right.
But the reality is much graver than that. The reality is that you're going to actually there's going to be a disconnection, because I'm just going to repeat myself because I know it to be the truth. All of this, anything you produce with art, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad by anybody's opinion. It comes from within. Mm-hmm. And there'll never be a time when AI can. It can never have that, because I have a life's experience. I've always spent, and I mean this, I've always spent a good portion of any given week of probably my entire life, as I got for memory, my entire memory, where I think about, this is going to sound a little crazy, all the fucking eyeballs and all in the world. I think about it because I'm looking around, and then I look and I'll see other, it kind of comes, sometimes it gets like a swirl of existential crisis in there, because I'll look around, I'll just look at people and I'll be like, they're seeing what they're seeing and I'm seeing what I'm seeing. And right now there's like billions of people seeing what they're seeing, and it's all going into the fucking ether, bro. It's all just going into the ether and everywhere.
You can't think like that, dude. You can't start thinking like that. It'll drive you nuts.
I by the way, credit all of my earlier experimental phase with hallucinogens for this ability to be able to look around and get lost in these fucking absolutely crazy.
No, but you're making a really good point. And one of the things that I reject AI for, one of the reasons, is because I'm not interested in consuming any art that wasn't made by a person. The reason I'm interested in art is because it's made by people. Because it's made by a person with a perspective that they're sharing. If it's not made by a person, I don't want it. I'm not even interested in it. What's it for? I mean, it's like completely valueless to me. Because when you engage with people's art, you're engaging with the person that made the art. And even when the art stands alone, you know, it gets to live its own life apart from that. It's just it's just, you know.
Yeah, I totally do know. All right. Do you want me to put this video on and we'll see what Werner. I love Werner. All right, here we go. Here's some Werner Herzog for your entertainment. Oh, shit. What do we got here? Good Lord, Dale. Gotta love lives. Oh, yes. I see what's wrong right now. All right, Werner.
Yeah. I've seen movies, short films, completely created by artificial intelligence, story and acting and everything, and they look completely dead. They are stories, but they have no soul.
They don't have a spark. Yeah.
It's not
no
a
soul.
Spark, they're empty and soulless. And you know it's
Sorry.
not only a spark, they're empty and stories, dead. They're stories, but they have no soul.
They don't have the spark. Yeah.
It's not only a spark, they're empty and soulless. And you know it's the most common lowest denominator of what is filling billions and billions of informations on the internet. The common denominator. And nothing beyond this common denominator can be found in these fabrications. And you will immediately identify it. You will find it very quickly.
No soul.
Yeah.
No soul. Listen, well, thank you for that. Because it's so great to just hear his voice.
Yeah, I know.
Let alone to hear his voice on such an agreeable
yeah, topic. I gotta. Next time we talk about this, I'll pull up Miyazaki's whole speech on AI. How he's very much opposed to it too. I just feel like it's really easy to align with those people on this subject.
Yeah.
Some of the people who have made the most groundbreaking and influential art of the last, this entire, last century. I just think, I'm going to side with them. If they think that it's fundamentally offensive, then it is for me too.
I've talked about it more than once on this live. I'll talk about it for as long as I ever do a live. If I'm talking about the creative process, because in the creative process, when Werner says it has no soul, it has no soul. I love that he's referring to it as it and its own soul, because I truly believe, because I've witnessed it, it's happened to me. These things come alive.
What?
It's inexplicable.
What
These
things?
projects. Don's Plum.
Not AI projects.
Don's Plum became its own thing. It was this, and it still is this unstoppable. It's its own thing. It's a living, breathing thing. I can't explain it, but art becomes life.
Yeah.
And it's an impossible thing to truly describe. But I can tell you that you'll know it when it happens to you, because the work can't be stopped. Like, and you'll recognize when it happens, because you'll look around, you'll be like, holy fuck, I don't have my hands on the wheel anymore, man. This thing's doing its own thing. And so the fact that he refers to the soul being sort of the basis of the work itself, or that the work itself has a soul, is to me profoundly true. You know, and I think that struggle between, you know, that thing that you ever see, those cliche kind of like, I don't know, plays, and maybe it's in writing or even on TV shows or movies, where it's just artists who they're stuck. They can't they're like doing it. They're like, no, that's not it. It's shit.
Oh yeah. They tear it out of the typewriter and they crumple it up, and they toss it over their shoulder. There's a big pile of other crumpled up pieces of paper spilling out of the waste paper basket.
This is the stuff that's not alive.
Yeah,
this is the stuff that happens before it's alive.
No, I know. And it's just like, people are constantly trying to. There was somebody who tweeted, it went viral because everybody was in opposition to it. But somebody tweeted today or yesterday, they said, yeah, it's everybody's against ChatGPT and AI until there's two hours left until your assignment is due, your writing assignment.
Yeah, right.
Like, they're like, if you're down to the wire, you're going to cheat, and then you're going to use it. Every single person that replied was like, I don't know, dude. I mean, I would just like wait until last minute, stress out, take a bunch of fucking trucker pills, some caffeine and cigarettes, and then like write the best dissertation of my life.
Yeah.
Write 20 pages, get a
fucking publishing deal for it,
and get a fucking A.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about you. Maybe it's a skill issue.
Very funny.
Know? Like, the rest of us procrastinated and we got our shit done because we had to. This is the thing, is like, everybody just wants to like a shortcut through the pain of creativity.
But the pain but it's the pain of creativity that makes it beautiful. Like, it's the suffering. We suffer through this stuff. It's a part of the journey. I can't understand why anybody wants it. The frustration of a transition is the fucking birth of your idea, dude. It's the fucking, it's everything. It's what it's all about.
I know.
Like I don't understand. I was talking this about like musicians today. There was who was it? Somebody from some big band. I just saw like an interview, and they were talking about like how from System of a Down, the lead singer for System of a Down.
Serge Tankian.
Yeah, and he's like, dude, I don't, like why aren't you touring? And he's like, it's called creative redundancy. So everybody looks at, like, and I did as a kid.
Did he call it
at
that?
the rocks? He did. I look at like rock stars.
Yeah.
As a kid, I looked at rock stars. I was like, the life. That's the life. That's what I want. That's it. I got into a band. I was a singer. I began writing my poems, all of it, right? Fucking 13, 14, 15, band. That was me. I was going to be a fucking rock star, period.
I can't imagine it.
But what I didn't know about what I wanted to be is that these guys live this creative redundancy that has to be, I mean, it's got to, like he said, he's like, it's living in Groundhog Day, guys. I go out, I do the same exact thing every day to try to produce the exact same result. Mm-hmm. It's a disconnection from the work. Yeah. It just goes away. He's like, he said, David Bowie once said something about how the first 2 weeks of a tour are something, and then the rest of it is just nothing.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. And it's just like, and you think about it's so weird too, because when as a kid, I would go to these concerts and I would see these people standing on stage in front of 15,000, 25,000 people. I was like, oh my God, drink it. You just got to drink this shit every night. Little did I know that there are at least a few of them who are like, oh, Jesus, watch, I'll do this and they'll do that.
That's really funny.
right?
Yeah, unless you play LA, because apparently
So everything-
Los Angeles crowds are the fucking worst, and they don't give you anything
Rush
back.
is starting in LA, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Yeah, you know why? That's why the shows are shit, because a lot of people just start there. So, and the show, like I tell you,
No, it's not the shows that are shit, bro. I've been in those
The crowd
audiences
suck.
where I'm like, why the fuck isn't anybody doing anything? What's the matter with everybody? I went to 2 Faith No More concerts in 2 days. And the first concert, fucking Mike Patton was on the stage and he was like literally complaining into the mic about how everybody was being a fucking stick in the mud. And then on the next night, they completely revised their set and they only played like their hardest metal songs. They were like, none of this slow shit anymore. We need to put some fucking livelihood into,
some life into this.
some life into this crowd.
I saw Judas Priest in. I've seen a lot of bands in LA, but not a whole bunch, but a good handful. And I saw Judas Priest in Los Angeles, and I was like, "Wow, this is just not the same band."
I know.
Like when I saw them in Jersey, I thought like everyone was just in complete awe.
I know.
Like
I
we
don't know
we
what's
walked
wrong.
out of there going like, "This is like I saw Judas Priest." I mean, I'm talking like I'm an adult. I'm bringing people saying, "You got to see this band from the '80s. They're incredible," and it was a fucking miracle of a concert.
I
And
know,
then I saw
I-
them in LA like a year later, and I was like, "Why the fuck are you shitting the bed?"
This is exactly my experience too. I saw it wasn't Faith No More, but I saw some other Mike Patton bands because he's in like 20 bands, and every time
Dude, he's working with the Ava Brothers now.
I know, it's so weird. It's such a strange like super group. But I would watch them in DC, and the fucking crowds are so fun, and they absolutely loved it. You can tell
Yeah.
when the band is having a blast. But in LA, it was like always so fucking bored.
They
That's why they start
shredded in
playing the
Winnipeg.
smaller venues. Like they'll play the Fonda Theater or something because it's so much smaller.
Yeah.
Because then, like, I guess if it's more exclusive or tickets are cheaper or fucking whatever, people have a better time. I don't know. Must suck to be them.
I know I digress from whatever we were talking about, but
Well, I have something new to talk about if
Great.
you want to just change the topics. This just in,
By the way,
breaking news. Do.
oh wait, but before you do the breaking news, then I just want to get this out of the way because it's short and sweet,
But I
and
did
it's
this-
on my title.
I did
and
the
that is-
breaking news
You did, I know.
music.
But I just want to get this out of the way because I'll forget. But Dolly Parton's fine.
Dolly Parton's fine. Everybody, Dolly Parton's fine.
Her sister, I think
Everybody
she
can
did.
chill
I
out.
think Dolly Parton did an eye roll and went, "Oh my god, you don't say that. I'm 79. People think I'm dying." She's getting kidney stones removed. It's rather a fairly common.
So
low
she
risk
had to tell everybody
procedure.
what her problem was because
So
everybody
she
got
ended
too
up having
worried.
to like be like, "Here's the problem, guys.
Oh my God, that
I'm
poor
gonna be
lady.
fine. I just need some rest."
She was like, my sister's just being a fucking drama queen.
So Frieda got panicked and prayed all night. Got literally like it was the most upvoted story yesterday on our entertainment.
Well, I'm glad that she knows that people are worried about her. I'm glad she's okay. So she's really okay, or she's just putting on a brave face.
She's having surgery to remove these kidney stones, and it's a rather common surgery, obviously, and they expect a full recovery with no issues. It's just
wonder
that she's
if,
slowed down for a minute.
I wonder if Miley Cyrus called her and was like,
She called Frieda probably. She's like, "Frieda,
everybody,
mildly.
my phone is blowing up. People are concerned. You have to put out a statement.
So she's fine. Okay, where are we gonna go? Do it again.
No.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. You know that little, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Was it supposed to be
You-
like...
you were doing it? I fucked you up. I did. I messed up your shit.
Okay, Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Bryan Freedman, has been sued for malpractice.
Oh, from who?
Travis Flores' family.
No shit.
Yes.
Oh my God, this
We
is so
predicted
fucking.
it.
We predicted this,
We
bro.
predicted it.
This show rocks, bro. We fucking predicted this shit.
That's right.
We are fuck yes.
Yeah, listen to this.
Yeah, I love it. This
It's
guy
crazy.
fucking used this kid to get this client. Oh my God, and cash out. This world is cruel, bro. It's a cruel world.
Okay.
And by the way, well, never mind. Go ahead.
In 2021, in the case against both Baldoni as well as his production company Wayfair Entertainment that's since been settled, Freedman represented Travis Flores, a man with cystic fibrosis, who alleged that the star's directorial debut, 5 Feet Apart, was a ripoff of his then client's own script, 3 Feet Distance. Both projects were romances about a couple living with a progressive genetic disease. Flores, who died in May 2024 from complications of cystic fibrosis, had years earlier appeared on Baldoni's produced and hosted documentary, My Last Days, about people with terminal illness. I think I've spoken about this so much, it's kind of weird to review it all. A little boring, maybe. Okay. Freedman explained in a statement justifying his decision to subsequently represent Baldoni. He said, "Over the years, I have learned what great people Justin and Wayfair are."
Oh my fucking God.
But he took the case with Flores, believing that
he stole that the good person, the great person that Justin Baldoni is. No, he's the great
when Justin
money
Baldoni was a defendant, Bryan Freedman was pretty sure he had fucking done a crime. The Flores case was resolved without any determination of liability on Justin or Wayfair or any other defendant's part. Yeah, because you took a fucking settlement. Since then, it has been further confirmed to me that Justin and Wayfair are exceedingly honorable and highly ethical. Well, Flores's husband, Clement Soyri, I'm probably mispronouncing this last name, forgive me,
Apologies.
as the administrator of his partner's estate, filed a formal complaint in July with the California State Bar's Office of Trial Counsel in protest of Freedman's conduct. And on Wednesday, he filed a lawsuit in the California State Court.
I love this. I wish him all the fucking power and fucking
I know.
may truth come and justice be harsh.
In the Baldoni Files sub, underneath this post, somebody was like, "I love this for him."
I love this. It's the greatest news of the day. It's
Okay, listen.
yes, there are better things that could happen today, but this is a good one.
The suit filed on October 8th alleges legal malpractice, invasion of privacy, and defamation. It accuses Freedman of having inappropriately, in quotes, traded up from seriously ill client Flores to healthier client Baldoni.
Yep.
Then later, after Flores had died, the litigation accuses Freedman of publicly defending himself by betraying attorney-client confidences and misrepresenting the merits of Flores's own case in the media. In federal court, where the parties' copyright litigation was waged, attorney-client privilege survives a client's death. Freedman did not immediately return a request for comment to the Hollywood Reporter.
Fuck you. I hope you drown in all of your filth. He's a fucking horrible human being. Listen, that's what he did, dude. That's
exactly what he fucking
brought
traded
that lawsuit to the billionaires, sniffed them out, and then got a job.
Yeah, he's like, look at these money bags over here.
Do you want to hear something fucking weird?
What?
One of our attorneys went and worked for Lavely.
Which Lavely was representing Leo and Toby.
Yes. So Leo's attorney, Jay Lavely, ended up hiring one of our attorneys after our case, and they were having these exchanges during our, like off the record exchanges where I was like, huh, you guys are sure fucking chummy.
Yeah.
Chummy in the elevator. I'm like, why the fuck are you being chummy with the fucking enemy right now, dude? And I was like, okay, well, this is just, lawyer decorum. Turns out, no, he was vying for a job.
That's crazy. That's really fishy.
I hated it.
I'll be following this case for sure.
Unfucking yeah, who isn't? That's just amazing. I hope he just goes down. That's exciting news. Look, we said from the very, very beginning that we believed that he not only, look, and I don't know if they're going to be able to prove this, and it doesn't look like they're even charging it yet. Maybe through discovery, they'll learn something. I think Bryan Freedman has a discovery problem. He has a real big discovery problem right now. That's for fucking sure. Because part of his discovery problem, this is a very complicated case. And I wonder how they deal with this. And I hope maybe I'll jump on do some YouTube or some TikTok lives to try and get You Keep Doing This back. Because she was our resident lawyer. And I would love to know a little bit more about how discovery will work, because a part of what I'm sure they're going to want to learn is whether or not there were communications between Bryan Freedman and Justin Baldoni shortly that betrayed any of those communications. So, I mean, obviously they can narrow the scope of discovery to communications with their client, Justin Baldoni, prior to perhaps engaging as his attorney. It's a very difficult.
I think that Bryan Freedman very much does not understand or respect the rules, if he knows them at all. Because, for instance, like, he didn't know that there was a California law that had been recently passed that made it so that you would be liable for treble damages and attorney's fees if you file a retaliatory lawsuit against somebody who has complained about SH in the workplace. Okay. So he didn't know that happened. So he went and filed a retaliatory lawsuit for Justin Baldoni for $400 million and then got in big trouble for it. And that's, he's potentially going to be on the hook for treble damages because of that. And it's possible that he didn't know when Travis Flores passed away. He probably thought, okay, well, I don't have any obligations to this former client of mine who's deceased. fully like unaware or ignoring the fact that in federal law you still have that obligation even after a person's passed. I think that's really interesting. It wouldn't be surprising to me if Bryan Freedman just simply didn't know, because it seems like that's a pattern for him, that he can break these rules and then be, you know, out of ignorance or whatever. Maybe he's just arrogant enough to think that the rules don't apply to him, but maybe they do.
Let's see. I just changed the title to reflect this news, just in case some people want to come and talk about it. This, I think, is like kind of earth-shattering, really, for them. And this is really bad news for Baldoni's camp, because if they can get into this discovery, if they can get in deep enough, they might discover, and I hope they do, that this guy, you know, he didn't just trade up; he betrayed him.
Bryan Freedman.
Yeah, Bryan Freedman betrayed Flores.
Yeah,
he got him into that settlement, as you said.
Travis Flores was saying that he thought that he didn't want that settlement.
He didn't want that settlement.
So what the fuck was his lawyer doing participating in it?
He did not want that settlement.
He's
dude.
the plaintiff.
Listen, I didn't want mine either.
He's the plaintiff.
I didn't want mine either. Do you know what I mean? So the one thing that Freedman's probably going to be able to defend in that is like, yeah, I mean, sometimes clients don't necessarily want what they're going to get, but they get it because it's the thing that makes the most sense.
I think that's malpractice, man.
Well, I hope so, because I would love to see Bryan Freedman get what he's due. His conduct, not only with Flores, but with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, is just so deplorable. Mm-hmm. So hopefully they'll get some justice. Nick's wife said, "A lonesome cowboy waiting for his girl."
I got to be honest.
That look at the end is so evil.
I know. I can't stand Tobey Maguire in the first 10 minutes of Don's Plum, because he's predatory.
We're not going to tolerate it. This is a betrayal. Stop.
No, I know, but he is acting predatory. He is so desperate to bring a girl that he is increasingly getting frustrated with no as an answer, and he gives off like really fucking bad vibes.
No, it's probably.
And I'm not surprised.
It's probably one of the biggest holes we have.
He probably wasn't fucking acting.
It's probably one of the biggest holes we have in the film, because like we didn't. It still worked, but really, why would Meadow go with him? Why? She's like sitting there watching him get rejected and pitying him, like. It was.
No, she doesn't have anything better to do that night.
It's pretty much how she played it, which is great. She was like, "Yeah, let's go."
Yeah, she's great in it. I don't know why he made those choices, and they're super fucking weird. And he's acting so unhinged that I just felt like he could have chosen to do anything normal. It's like if you had Crispin Glover in the first 10 minutes of your movie.
He can, yeah. I love Crispin Glover. So.
Tobey Maguire went to the Crispin Glover School of Acting.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cosmic Urgency said, "It doesn't matter what we think or how much we complain, that the future will be laughing at us like we laugh at those old clips about the internet." I don't know, man. I think it's a bubble that's going to burst. The thing about AI is just that.
I think in
general, it's very unsustainable. They haven't figured out a way for it not to consume incredible, like astonishing amounts of electricity and water.
They do. They have. They've already.
I don't know how. I don't know whether what's.
They have that sorted. Like they're going to sort that. That energy crisis is going to be a relatively short-term problem, because I'm just going to leave it at that, because I don't want to like start a debate on it. But the energy isn't going to be the long-term issue for AI. That's a short-term problem for mankind. Period. There have been major fucking breakthroughs in the world of energy very recently, and I mean major. So. We're about to enter into an era in the next decade of a basically limitless clean energy world.
I know, but you're thinking past a point where there's real problems that have yet to be solved. Like, for instance, they'll build a giant AI data center, and then everybody in the surrounding community will notice that their electricity bills go up like astronomically, like hundreds of dollars a month, because this new data center moved out, and the energy companies that service that local area are all in cahoots, and they're deciding to spread the expense onto everybody. So people just like living their lives in their houses can no longer afford to run their air conditioner because the bills are insane all of a sudden because a fucking data center moved in.
Most utilities in most states have to go through a legislative process to get approval for increases that are
Okay.
outside. That's true. This is true. I know.
No,
this
I
to be
know,
fact.
but like, do you think that
So I don't know
in
how,
our state,
I don't know how
think,
yes, in our state, yeah, they do. I follow
I know,
it.
I know. I'm
Right.
Let me finish.
Sure.
There are legislators
Yeah.
who absolutely are going to rubber stamp whatever these corporations want to do.
Yeah.
So,
I
what
don't
good
know
is
how
that?
it's possible that a data center can go up and then rates can raise without some oversight on that, because typically what happens is there's a process, and that process after approval has usually an inception date. So people are, because the one thing that most states do is don't allow utilities to just spring potentially life-threatening changes in their bills, because we rely on our electricity for our lives. We rely on, our water for our lives. And so it's usually going through a legislative body of some kind of application process that goes through whatever department in whatever, gubernatorial fucking government body, whatever it is. They fucking go through that process. So for example, here in Georgia, if Georgia Power wants to raise, and they do, and they get rubber stamped, but even getting rubber stamped takes 2 years, takes a year. It doesn't just like a rubber stamp turn on. So the idea that a data center went up and then their stuff went up would have to been all coordinated at the same time. Which, I guess if you're smart enough to follow legislation and get your hands on that, then. But look, that stuff aside, and like I understand that and I recognize the importance of all that stuff, but that's all going to go to the wayside in a very short period of time. There's going to be an energy money grab right from now until fusion hits. And then when fusion hits, there's going to be this limitless energy. It's going to drive the cost down. It has to. It's also very clean. So this is a very fucking big benefit. And these data centers are going to run extremely efficiently at that point, as the whole world will. We're about to enter a new age of energy. Everything is going to change in that respect. The sort of crazy hysteria is about whether we're going to actually get there as a human race, before we actually self-destruct. The real problem isn't the powering of AI in the long term. The real problem in the long term with AI is going to be differentiating AI from non-AI. There's this guy just did it. This person just did a demonstration of them doing themselves. So the people are going to do AI of themselves. Like we do lives every single night, right? So what does the lazy person do, who wants to try to put together a podcast, a daily podcast? What do? They put their AI self on, or if they're sick, they put their AI self on, or et cetera, et cetera. So there's just going to be this, like, I think, incredible blur between, and hopefully there'll be some intervention on a government level, like some kind of legislation that will help support identifying, always keeping because then we're in the Blade Runner, right? We're in the Blade Runner era where it's like replicas.
You're waiting for legislation to regulate.
Hey, listen, you're looking at everything so short term. Yes, I'm looking at long term legislation. Yes, I'm looking at long term. Like in terms of long term, I know that short term we have this corrupt government that gave AI this platform of like do whatever you want for the next 10 years. It's a fucking terrible fucking piece of legislation. And I would not doubt that if America is able to recover from this attempt at fascism, that if it does recover from it and it actually doesn't become a fascist state, which obviously we're hurtling toward that. Obviously we have agents invading, we have government agents invading our cities right now. It's fucking pretty creepy. If we end up a fascist state, then obviously it'll be much more difficult for anything legitimate to happen. But if America is preserved, this administration is going to get boinked out, and hopefully America will have learned something, and they'll put in, if America is not completely lost for good and broken and irretrievable or unrecoverable because of whatever sinister shit has happened to the system itself, then I do expect that legislation will come. Yes, I do expect that there will be regulations to help us identify and differentiate reality from non-reality, because it's going to get so close that you're not going to be able to tell. Like I can basically reproduce my voice now perfectly. I can do it like there's several apps right now where I can train AI to just be my voice, and then I can read my book back to me.
Nick Carraway's wife literally suggested this earlier. Said, if you give ChatGPT all of the episodes of this podcast, you can then ask it to be Dale, and it will be AI Dale, and talk like him and share his opinions.
Yeah.
I think that's so creepy.
And that's what needs to be regulated eventually, right? Because I don't want that to happen. I don't want people to be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
on my
already
behalf.
there's been like real problems with deep fakes, tricking people into believing things.
Yeah. Well, and
You
like,
know, it's really it's really awful from a legal standpoint, because somebody could be tricked into doing some sort of criminal act, right? And the chatbot or whatever is not responsible for doing that tricking, right? Where like a lot of celebrities have had a real hard time trying to regulate AI video generation, because they'll do like pornographic scenes with them in their likeness.
yeah.
And they've got no control over whether anybody chooses to use their likeness this way. So it's basically like revenge porn or whatever.
Yeah, and then we're
you know?
going to get that sound like, you know, on a, like a, you know, on a, you're going to get like that, you know, like you're going to create that for, you know, just, individuals, not just celebrities.
Yeah, or like you could blackmail somebody without ever having contact with them whatsoever, you know?
Well, actually now, back in the day, it'd be like, you know, if there was video of me cheating on my wife,
Yeah.
it was almost certainly real. Now I can just turn to my wife and go, that's not real.
Oh, I know.
Even if it's real, I can just look at you
I
stone
know,
in the
just
face
be
and be
like-
like, that's a lie.
It's a deep fake.
That's a deep fake.
They're really good at this now. You can count all my fingers and it's all the same fingers.
I'm telling you, they probably have 10 of them because I know there's 10 of them. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's, you know, it's almost like going to help the cheater in that way.
Get away with it.
Yeah. Oh, you believe that? Like, because, you know, if you're like,
You're so naive.
if you're like Johnny Cool, that you believe that? All right,
So
cool.
horrible.
You know, and then, you know, what you could do is like, as a means to defend yourself, is you go create one with your wife without her even knowing. And then let me show you something.
It's so dark, Dale.
Yeah. So what now?
Don't give people ideas. That's terrible. I'm judging you.
It's like a Crouch novel.
Blake Crouch.
Mm-hmm.
His novels are so great. Every time I've been in kind of a reading slump where I feel like I can't get into it, I just read one of his books.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't have that many. I want to read that trilogy. I only have the one. I need to get the other two.
We'll get the others.
That would be fun to do.
Shannon knows has an unpopular opinion.
Let's hear it.
I love those.
I love unpopular opinions.
Dawn's Plum was the first time I thought Tobey Maguire looked hot.
Wow.
It was the first time I felt he seemed genuine and not his usual fake manufactured Pinocchio, I'm a real boy vibe.
That's hilarious. Well, that's the cool thing about Dawn's Plum is that everybody was very authentic.
You know what's so interesting about that you say that about Tobey Maguire? He has his son in his astrology chart. He has his son in his 12th house.
Yeah.
And literally, like, the interpretation of having your son in your 12th house, which is the house right before your first house, which is your identity, it's kind of a hidden place. It's like it signifies where you were before you were born. So it's like kind of like behind the veil.
Can
you know?
also signify things like hidden enemies and
Yes. So if you have your sun placed, which that means that you're born in the daytime. So the sun is your primary luminary, but it's hidden away in your 12th house. That means that where the you that you put forward into the world is not your authentic self. And that this kind of creates a bit of a conflict between...
sort of can mean that, I guess you could say, but yeah.
Yeah, like, so Madonna has her son in her 12th house, and she has been all these different characters in her public life, and in her private life she's been a different person, and sometimes you see glimpses of that, and it's really, really captivating and intriguing. And I think that that's probably what Shannon Knows is talking about, that he showed his authentic self, how he is with his friends, and it was more intriguing because that's his hidden self. But all of these other people that he puts out into the world as these iterations of Tobey Maguire are not himself. This is how people with celebrities with their son in their 12th house usually operate. Isn't that neat?
That is really fucking neat.
Madonna and Toby. Peas in a pod. Where'd you go?
Nowhere. I'm on It Ends With Us lawsuits for some reason, and I just noticed that there's a Taylor Swift daily discussion mega thread.
They're obsessed
Fucking
with her.
obsessed.
It's got to be
I
so
told you
weird.
I stirred the pot, so I got a bunch of like comments of people being mad at me. I don't know what they're saying.
Oh yeah, fuck it.
They're saying terrible things.
Just
to me.
wait for like a week when
They're
nobody
like, you
cares anymore.
fucking loser. You fucking pathetic loser.
I know you rattled the hornet's nest and all the hornets came out and you're just like, you put them in a box.
I love how they just I know that they're like, I trapped them a little bit because I knew I was going to trap them into, because like, I'm a poker player and I'm a good poker player, and poker players set traps all the time. And I set a motherfucking trap because I was like, this is how easy these guys are. Like, honestly, I wish it was poker so I could just take all of their money.
Yeah.
Because they set this stupid trap. I set this stupid trap where I just basically got them to suggest that there was no SH, because we know there was.
Oh, so
and we
you
know that they
led them
it.
to say, you're being stupid, there wasn't any SH.
And they bought it so hook and sinker. They were like, show me one instance where there's any proof of SH. And I was like, sure.
No, wait, they're like, I'm waiting.
Yeah, they said, I'm waiting.
You're like,
and then I just responded with, sure. Page 133 of his own fucking stupid shit. Go look at it. Hilarious.
Mr. Hands is always got so many fucking jokes, dude. It's so great. So Shannon O said, unpopular opinion, Don's Plum was the first time I thought Tobey Maguire looked hot.
Yeah.
That he seemed genuine. And then, I make fun of Tobey Maguire a lot in that movie because I think that his choices sucked. And Mr. Hands said, bro, he's just a lonesome cowboy. Leave him alone.
He's just a lonesome cowboy.
He's waiting for his girl.
He's just waiting for his girl.
Guilty Angel said, I hated him singing that. I, too, hated him singing that.
I thought Tobey Maguire was good enough in Don's Plum. I think he was the weakest of everybody, and I think that's what bothered him most. Because I think that, like,
it seemed like it got under his skin.
Out of the four friends,
yeah.
Scott Bloom was a far more intriguing character. Like, he was mysterious. The enigma, the enigmatic sort of energy that he put out made you kind of want. He was mysterious. You wanted to know more about him.
Yeah.
Leo was just fucking like the center of everything, the center of the universe at the table. He was funny. He was hilarious. He was an asshole. He just provoked so much emotion from you if you're watching him closely, from anger to like, you're like, I loved Meadows' reaction to her as Juliet, to him as Juliet, where she was like, so I'm laughing. He's an asshole, and I'm laughing. So that must mean I'm an asshole. Like, because we loved that about what he brought to that character, was this idea of like, I'm absolutely loathsome. I'm going to make you like me, and he pulls that off, and he pulls it off extremely well, much better than before he bashed the film into the fucking ashes of the earth. But anyway, so I don't know where I was going with
you were saying that Scott was great, Leo was great. Yeah,
and then fucking Kevin Connolly, it remains the best performance of his career.
Okay, and Toby was also great. I have a theory. I don't know if this is true.
But I just think that Toby was not as great as those guys,
yes.
even in Toby's eyes.
I know.
Yeah.
So when you're seeing them all at the table, that is the first film shoot that you guys did. That's the first time that they're together and they're all sharing the stage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But when you see the first 10 minutes of your film, and that's Toby in the bar trying to get a date for the night, that is 6 months later.
Yes.
So it's 6 months after when you've started editing the film, everybody's talking about how great the film is, right? So it gets in Toby's head. I think the reason why he's acting kind of fucking making weird choices and he's acting kind of unhinged in that first scene is because it's 6 months after when he's been he's been ruminating on the fact that all of his friends look really fucking great in this movie. And he doesn't.
He hasn't seen anything.
No, but everybody's giving everybody else feedback. You guys are editing the film saying it looks amazing.
Yeah, I know, but you're making an assumption that he just doesn't like his own performance, and he's actually he probably in his own mind thought he gave a great performance. I think that there's a reason why he seems like he's making weirder choices, bolder choices. He seems a little unhinged in the first 10 minutes. And that's because it took 6 months for him to get to that shoot. And he had changed his mind about how he was going to perform his character. I'm gonna drop some tea. Guilty Angel said, Dale, you mentioned that in your book, Leo and Meadow had a little thing. You alluded to it. So I'm gonna drop some tea. This is kind of some fun tea because it's pretty harmless tea.
You better take care of Meadow though, because
I'm gonna take care of Meadow because it's cute tea. It's cute tea.
We like.
They
her.
had Meadow and her roommate Marissa before Marissa had hooked up with Jeremy and became Jeremy's girlfriend. Pardon me. They had this making out with stars list that they were keeping that was just a joke between them. And so, like, I'd be sitting around and like I remember Meadow or maybe it was Marissa. I can't remember which one. We were like, we were just sitting around and one of them came home. It must have been, it wasn't Meadow, or maybe it was, I can't remember. I gotta put the facts together. I think it was actually Marissa who had checked off before Jeremy. She was like, no, she's like, obviously I'm not doing it now because I'm with Jeremy. And I was like, I think me or somebody asked like who was the last, person she made out with or whatever. And it was, Christian Bale. And then, and so then we were heading to that party. So I kind of altered a little bit for the book. We were heading to the party.
For the book. But you cut this, didn't you?
No, this that she goes and makes out with him is in the book. But,
okay.
But what I didn't put in the book was that she was basically deciding on the way to the party that she was going to check him off the list, basically. Leo. So
she was like, I'm targeting him tonight.
She was like 100% like, well, and that's in the book. See, because we have the argument.
I think you cut it in the end.
No, that's definitely in the book.
That's good.
No, I love that scene because, she's Meadow is, I remember, very distinctly her arguing the hypocrisy, So anyway, so Leo was just this fucking list. They went and they made out. They did not have sex. She told me. And I think she would, we were very, very close friends. And
was she disappointed? Like it didn't happen?
She said he did nothing for her.
She made out with him and was like, ew.
It was definitely, she was like, it was definitely like, okay, thanks.
I love that.
I'll see you later.
She aborted the mission.
Yeah, she was like, it was not, it was
so
just,
great.
There's just something about it she didn't enjoy, and I mean, she's a smoking hot babe, so she could pick him.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
She could too.
What's that?
I would date her. She's hot.
That chick, yeah, crazy hot. She was a really cool friend too. But anyway, yeah, so she had this list and she just basically checked him off her list. She used Leonardo DiCaprio that night and it was pretty fucking dope.
So did you answer the question? Dale, you mentioned in your book that Leo and Meadow had a thing? You alluded to it.
Yeah, it was a one night. They made out at that party.
She was like not interested anymore.
I drove home with her. I drove home with her that night. Like we were all in the same car when we went to the party and we were all in the same car when we left. She didn't bone him, It was just, and she told me she didn't, and I believe her.
Mr. Hands 57 wants to know, didn't Jeremy and Marissa get married at one point?
Yeah, they did. It was a joke. They got married.
It was a joke? What do you mean?
They got drunk.
But they were a couple.
They were just dating, and they were just like, let's get fucking married. They were in Vegas, and let's just get married or whatever, and they did it.
That's fun.
And then they annulled it 2 years later or something. But yeah, they were married. Who the fuck? How do you know that? Let me tell you, that is some fucking inside shit.
Oh, it's on their
really?
Wikipedia. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's so interesting.
Also, another question from Mr. Hands 57.
Why would they put that out there?
They want to know, are you a better or worse poker player than Will Wheaton?
I played Will Wheaton. He actually beat me. But I think I'm a better poker player than Will Wheaton.
What were you going to say? You beat?
I thought I beat him, but it wasn't. Who I beat was the porn star, Peter North.
Peter North.
But Will Wheaton took me down in a tournament. He took me down in a tournament. He knocked me out, I believe.
That's so funny.
But
Peter North.
I don't know. I think I could. Look, I think I'm as. One thing about I think poker players is that we all think we're the greatest poker player in the world. So I'm happy to play anybody. I'll play fucking Dole Brunson. I'll play anybody, man. Let's go.
Do you think that if you played Tobey Maguire that he would tilt you just by being the supervillain that he is?
Yeah, probably. Well, here's the thing. I couldn't ever play him cash. I can't play anybody cash because I'm broke.
Oh, yeah. Well.
So I'm a tournament poker player.
If somebody funded you, if you were just like a regular poker player and you had cash, could you? Would you get tilted?
Yes.
Too tilted?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think I can handle it. I think he'd take me down in one hand and I'd lose my shit.
Yeah.
The thing about poker is that it swings. You're going to lose. You have to. It's a part of the process of poker. It's a great parallel of life, really, Mm.
You win some, you lose some.
You win some and you lose some, man. And sometimes you win big and sometimes you lose hard. And sometimes
you got to know when to hold
losses.
them and you got to know when to fold them.
And also in poker, which is the craziest thing, is that sometimes other people will fuck you up. Like somebody will make a move on the pot and just totally screw up your fucking the bluff you've been setting up or whatever it is.
Oh, that sucks. It's like a group project.
Dude, here's a funny thing. So Toby and I had this mutual friend. And he came over to my house, this mutual friend. He came and visited me in New Jersey. And he...
so this was after.
This is after all the fucking shit hit the fan. This is when I moved to Jersey to get away from Hollywood, all this stuff. And he was like, yeah, Toby's a fucking badass poker player. I was like, I'm a badass poker player. He goes, oh yeah, I'll play you right now. I was like, I mean, dude, let me tell you the embarrassment I put down on this guy. It was so bad. It was so bad that I literally deliberately let him win a couple of hands so that I didn't completely make him broke in like 20 minutes. I could have took all of his money in 2 hands or 3 hands because this guy was he was loose. He was a fucking fish. He had no skill whatsoever.
What does this mean? He's loose. He was a fish.
Like, he bets too much.
Okay.
And a fish means that a fish in poker is somebody who keeps staying in the hand in the hopes that the hand is going to improve instead of, you know the song, you got to know when to hold them. Know when to fold them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fish don't know when to fold them. They hold them and hold them and hold them. And you're just sitting there going, just taking in their money. Uh-huh. So he was just all of the things that we look for in, at the Taj Mahal. I used to play at the Taj Mahal, the Trump Taj Mahal, which is famous in the movie Rounders. And so I'd play at the Taj Mahal. And as soon as we saw anybody caught the fish, everybody at the table, we all just got hungry to get that guy in a hand, Got to get him in a fucking hand. So he's sitting there with like $500 worth of chips. You're like, mine. And you see the guy next to you take him down. And you're like, fuck, man. All I needed was a pair of deuces to get that shit. It's pretty funny.
I regret that I never learned how to play poker. I don't know how to play chess either. They're just 2 things that they take practice and diligence.
I got some chess books if you want to get into.
I know, it just seems like such
Logical
a great
chess.
I really respect people that refine that skill, because it's like such a great strategy.
Toby would whip my ass in chess.
He did?
He would.
Oh, he would.
Oh yeah.
Do you know how to play chess well?
I can play chess. I no, I can't play well. My dad's really good. It's infuriating how good he is.
How do people get good? They just study? Is it practice? You just got to play a ton?
It's practice.
Yeah, man.
It's also got like a savant element to it.
It's really admirable. I admire people that know how to play.
It's patterns, right? So it's being able to see patterns and understand
Is
them.
poker a lot like that? Is it like patterns too?
Well, yes, there's patterns for sure. Yeah, the poker has more complexity in that respect, and so does chess. Chess is not just patterns, but poker has both patterns, but it has like things like counting cards. If you're good.
Ooh, do you know how to count cards?
Yeah, and then there's like odds, and you have to come up with the odds, so pot odds, and so you just add up. You just figure out what your odds are going in. Sometimes you're just counting outs, they call them, and outs are the number of cards that are still in the deck that can improve your hand. And then you have to do this in math in your head, which I'm very good at. So you sit there and you're just holding your hand, and you have to do a calculation of what the chances are that your card is going to come. And then when you figure out what the chances are that your card is going to come, that can help determine how much you're willing to bet or call in order to stay in the hand to improve your hand. Mm-hmm. So there's like those complexities to poker that most people don't even think about, who observe the game and they're just like, oh, I got 3 of one thing. What do I do? We're sitting there going like calculating odds. And then there's the bluff side of the game where you're just reading the table and seeing whether or not you can make moves where your hand just doesn't matter. You're just going to be aggressive. You're going to scare people. You're going to get into hands and get into wars where you should not have any fucking, and you're just hoping that somebody's going to lay down their big slick. That's an ace king or some kind of fucking nonsense like that.
Big Slick is a good name for a dog.
It is a perfect name for a dog.
I'm going to write it down.
We have an ongoing list for the perfect names for dogs. Big Slick just made the list. How about it? Let me go to my saved and tell you guys what's going on over there. But I'm so thrilled I hope that Travis Flores, man, we got to get our shit together with an editor, because we should be
how you called it?
Posting about it. We fucking called it.
You called it. Yeah. Another thing that I called was that that Taylor Swift was going to get married this year.
Yes, you remember when the last time that she went to Ohio, I was like, it's a wrap now for sure.
Yeah.
That's when I came up with the Tommy Two Toes or whatever it was.
No, but when we were looking at Taylor Swift's the astrology of her Jupiter return, I was like, I think she's going to get engaged or married this year or something. That was months and months ago.
Yeah. What was I about to look up? Oh, I was going to my save.
Tommy Two Toes.
Tommy Two Toes, man. Legendary Tommy Two Toes.
What were you going to look up?
I'm going to get my saved, because I got some saved things. going on here. Let me see here. Oh, by the way, Ocean's 14, because I know you've been waiting for your next Ocean's installment.
Well, I actually liked those first movies.
Did you really?
Yeah,
I didn't.
I think they're clever. I like heist movies.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, I tried to produce one. It didn't work out because we were carrying around $750,000 worth of debt, so we couldn't get it fucking picked up because nobody wanted to shell out $1 million.
Right.
Just to get it started. George Clooney says Ocean's 14 budget has been approved, and that they're going to start filming next year in all likelihood, with Brad Pitt and Julia Roberts most likely rejoining. So there you go. For all of you fans of that movie, which I am not, maybe I'll rewatch them.
Oh, they're really good.
I watched them. I was thoroughly unimpressed with the first one.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I can't explain why, because I watched it then in the theaters and I walked out underwhelmed. But maybe I'll
We have some great jokes in the chat
let's hear 'em.
about poker.
Let's hear the poker jokes.
Guilty Angel says I'm more of a blackjack girl. Did you ever play blackjack?
Yeah, I'm very good at blackjack. But blackjack is, again,
Jack Black.
Jack Black. It's a lot of yeah. That's like, you want to talk about patterns, the blackjack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Never hit fucking, hit anything under 16, never hit anything over 16.
Nick Carraway's wife is saying, in all caps, Dale, do not play Toby at poker.
Yeah, I will take his
He's
money.
one of the best poker players of them all.
Oh, he does not scare me in the least. His poker does not scare me in the least.
Yeah, but he would just have to say one thing to you and he would know exactly how to tilt you.
I
That's
need
the
to-
thing, is he's a manipulator, so you can't play somebody that you know and that you know dislikes you.
I have to be in a situation where the money doesn't matter
Yeah,
in
right.
order to beat Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
And that, by the way, would just be evening the playing field. Mm-hmm. Like, the problem with me and Toby right now is that money to me is a matter of life and death. Money to him is surplus, disposable. It doesn't matter. So
true.
if I had fuck you money, or I had somebody who was backing me with the, I don't care how much money of my money you lose, take him down. I have fantasized. Like, I tell you, I talk about how I create templates in my mind.
You're
that I like
breathless about it. The fantasies.
I have fantasized that one of those people that he fucking took down in those poker games.
Oh yes, like some fucking
finds
some
me,
moneybags who hates him
and then
who's
sends
gonna-
me out to take him down as a poker player.
Who's like, an enemy of my enemy is my friend. I will support you in whatever you do.
So I had this
as long
dream
as
of-
it pisses Tobey Maguire off, you're in.
Yeah. Like, I became this guy's Rocky.
Yes.
Like, you go get him and you take him down, and I'm like
That's so
playing
great.
poker with this guy's money.
That's so smart.
I'm going like hard knocks.
Because it's true, it would really fucking bother him if you beat him at poker.
Oh no, it would like, oh
eat
my
at
God.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
He might, yeah. So, and of course, the World Series of Poker is something that he frequents, or I don't know if he still does, but he did. So it was all when he was in his poker days.
That's weird though, because it's
was
televised.
famous.
I can't imagine he would want to be televised playing poker.
he used to play poker. Yeah, he played lots of televised poker.
Really?
Yeah.
Mr. Hands 57 said, you and Toby were both vegans, so there is a chance you guys were mutually friends with an actual fish.
Wait, what?
Because you were talking about a fish in poker.
Yeah.
So you and Toby were friends with actual fish because you were both vegans.
Where's the fish part coming?
Which is kind of you and all, but beating a salmon at poker isn't an achievement. Fish jokes. Because you're vegan.
Oh.
You're friends of the fish because you don't eat them.
You're both vegans, so there's a chance you guys were mutual friends with an actual fish. Oh, because fish like us.
Yes.
I jump in the water and they're like, oh, he's a good one.
Yeah.
Be like, well, I do use occasionally a little bit of fish sauce.
That's true. It's okay when there's seasoning.
It's just a little bit. Really,
Just like a quarter
not
teaspoon.
many of you have to die for my addiction. Back in the day, we did bond over our vegetarianism.
Cosmic Urgency.
In fact, when we saw each other, sorry to interrupt you, when we saw each other at the first settlement, the settlement that we sort of traded to not do Dateline with Stone Phillips.
Yeah.
When I saw Toby, I was like, "You still a vegetarian or what?" Like, that was the first thing out of my mouth to him. And he said,
You guys are like nemesis.
I eat fish now," he said. And I was like, "Really?" I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Wow, that's surprising."
I know. That's weird.
Fraud.
They're always the first ones.
Well, it called him. Oh no, he called Kevin Connolly called out. That was a straight up call out of Scott Bloom. There was no writing in Don's Plum that had anything to do with Scott Bloom going to Mexico and as a vegetarian ordering fish tacos.
So wait, Kevin Connolly.
Kevin Connolly
says this?
gets on goes off on Scott Bloom's character, Jeremy versus Brad, about being a hypocrite and going down to, he's like, it's the biggest fucking hypocritical thing I've ever seen in my life. You go down to fucking, I'm a vegetarian, then you go down and you eat fish tacos in Mexico. And that was all real, not fake.
So Scott Bloom was a vegetarian too?
Yeah. I got a little rant I got to get on. So you guys prepare. Put your seatbelts on. It's going to be a little bit of turbulence.
Wait, hang on. There's a question here for us.
Yeah, before you go to the question, I'm not going to go into the rant. A couple of okay, go to the question.
Cosmic Urgency is asking, you guys can predict stuff that's going to happen to me based on my birth chart?
I mean, it is said that you can. I would not. I think that what we can do is we can see your not just your birth chart, but zodiacal releasing and all of the astrological sort of tools, perfections, even certainly progressions.
It's not that you can predict that a specific thing is going to happen. You can predict that a certain effect is going to come about. And there are several ways that could formulate in your life.
Yeah, I mean,
like there
is predictive astrology.
There are challenges and influences that come through in the astrology that we experience and how we experience that. Like, for instance, if you're meant to experience a period of solitude, you could go into solitude, or you could be like injured and hospitalized, or you could be like get in trouble with the law and get imprisoned. Those are all very different ways of experiencing solitude, and isolation. But if that's what's predicted in your chart, then that's gonna be the influence that comes through somehow. So, like, obviously you can't predict that somebody's going to get busted by the cops and thrown in jail. But if it happens, you'll be like, oh, that's how that manifested.
Well,
the thing that we predicted, that you would be having a period of isolation, like that's how that came through.
Yeah, or maybe in their reading they might say isolation or incarceration, especially if it includes things like the 12th house. But to be sure, the ancients and beyond believed in predictive astrology, very specific predictive astrology. There were tools that they used, many of which are just now really being discovered and really understood because of translations that were left untranslated until the 90s, and a project that began.
Project Hindsight translated a bunch of ancient texts,
which was like Viticus Valens and all this like really ancient, awesome, like 2,000+ year old astrological procedures. And one of those, for example, is zodiacal releasing, but also perfections. Both of those were just unearthed really in 1990, whatever. So they're just been reintroduced into the astrological sort of vocabulary, although they did exist to a certain extent in Indian astrology.
Vedic astrology.
Vedic astrology, but in Western astrology, didn't exist whatsoever and weren't even known to have existed.
Yeah, that's neat.
So it's a fucking pretty awesome thing. And yes, there is a belief that you can predict accurately things like even incarceration, death.
So when Taylor Swift's Jupiter returned to her natal Jupiter, right? So she was born with her Jupiter in Cancer, and this year Jupiter is in Cancer again. She also has her moon in Jupiter. I was like, oh, okay, well, she's going to be doing some sort of grand announcement, some sort of expansion, some sort of like popularity, adjustment having to do with her relationship, because she was with Travis Kelce at the time. So I just kind of put it together. It's not really, it wasn't really like something about
predictive astrology.
Her home is going to change. And I was like, oh, well, that probably just means that she's going to go move in with this guy who she now is her fiance.
And I predicted it because of
it's like very inarticulate. I'm doing a very poor job.
I predicted it because
we have to roll the
Two
tape
Toes.
back. And you predicted what?
Because of Tommy Two Toes.
Because of Tommy Two Toes. Yeah, because she went to Ohio. And everybody knows that if you go to Ohio, you're going to get married.
It wasn't just that they went to Ohio. There was pictures of them at the local pubs, let me take it this, when I was fucking in college, this guy used to like give me shots when I was 19. You know what I mean? That kind of
exactly.
Thing. That was like, she was on the tour, she's not going to fucking Cleveland for good times. You know what I mean? Like she's either doing a concert or she's fucking there to meet his family.
No offense, Cleveland, but I don't believe that.
Yeah, but I mean, not Taylor Swift, no offense to Cleveland, of course, but I'm not saying you don't have a good time in Cleveland. I'm saying Taylor Swift doesn't. I'm saying Taylor Swift goes to fucking Paris.
What were you going to rant about, babe?
Listen to the songs. I got a couple things before the rant first. The other thing is that California passed this law banning loud commercials on streaming services. So they passed a law that beginning July 1st of 2026, Netflix and company will need to keep their audio levels consistent from movie to commercials.
I love that. What's frustrating about it is because they're like, yeah, okay, good. That's a good one. But can we get the healthcare?
Yeah.
Can we get the legislators to work on building housing for the homeless?
You're not wrong. Like if there's ever a state in the entire union that is perfectly set up to create a universal healthcare, it has to be California with Kaiser Permanente.
No, they keep teasing it.
And they have Kaiser there. Like the government would just have to buy Kaiser Permanente.
Yep.
That's all they'd have to do is just like obtain that, buy it off of the oligarchs or whatever. Force them out
there's a reason why they don't,
Yeah, because of money. Okay. I don't know. We'll see how this rant goes. I'm fucking pissed. Bill Burr calls critics of the Riyadh comedy festival sanctimonious and phony. Well, fucking Bill fucking Burr, I've been fucking watching your shit your whole fucking career, and I'm done with your fucking dumb mouth. What a fucking piece of shit, bro.
He's
what
scolding.
A fucking piece of shit. We're calling me fucking sanctimonious and phony. He's the fucking guy playing for the Royals. He's the guy taking fucking money when he's got more than fucking any fucking other American practically, probably most people around the fucking world. But it's not enough for him. It's not enough for Bill Burr. Bill Burr's got to sell his fucking soul and go to the fucking Saudi Arabia where they literally fucking torture people, where they literally kill people, where they deny women the basic of rights. They can't even show their fucking faces, women. And this motherfucker is going to call me fucking phony. He's a motherfucker eating somebody else's money for his own goddamn...
Calling you sanctimonious, like scolding you for having a very clear-eyed opinion about some very, very reasonable...
I've never
criticisms.
I've never had a hero fall faster in my fucking life. Never had a hero fall faster than Bill fucking Burr selling his soul out for one show. For one fucking show. And by the way, just pay attention to what's going on in the world. Maybe leave that fucking region of the world alone to figure out its problems and support it in other ways. Maybe there are different ways that you could bring your comedy. Remember back in the day when they used to take fucking shows out to help people who were being fucking, war-torn and all this other stuff?
Right.
Maybe do something like that. Maybe do something valuable. He literally comes back and talks about how the Royals really fucking enjoyed the show. The fucking Royals, Angela. The Royals. You're a fucking thoughtless fucking piece of shit.
Why am I in this?
No, you're not. You're my love. I got spit coming out of my mouth. I'm Toby Maguire, bro. I'm busting a vein over this. But fuck that guy, sanctimonious and phony.
I know.
What a fucking piece of shit.
That's not a way to fucking
fix it. He was nothing the guy I thought he was. Nothing. It was all a fraud. It was all a fucking fraud. He is as manufactured as every other fucking personality. The guy is absolutely a fucking shell of a human being. He's an empty, soulless piece of shit. And he's proven it beyond any fucking doubt in my mind. First of all, to turn on the fucking people who are fucking criticizing him, because to turn on them, the fucking people who have been stuffing his fucking mouth with the foie gras he eats every fucking Friday. Fuck him and his fucking bullshit, his bullshit facade. Go fuck yourself, Bill fucking Burr. Have a nice life. And he'll never hear it anyway, but fuck you, buddy. You're lucky I don't fucking post. And I just do lives. You're just lucky I don't post.
Why is he lucky?
Because fucking people pick up on rants.
He clearly doesn't give a shit about anybody's opinion.
Yeah, until it gets out of control. You know what? We'll see what happens if this thing gets out of control. Keep pissing him off, Billy. Keep pissing him off, you useless fucking...
I also don't know who he's trying to align with. Like,
Man,
what is
the C word there.
What's the play here? Like, so is he now going to align with so he's trying to corner the market on comedy fans that are like pro Saudi Arabia?
Right.
Like, what's
the fucking plan, pal?
What's the plan here, bud?
Yeah. Or are you just like this big almighty artist? I'm bigger than my audience.
Yeah, I know.
Well, fuck you then.
You're calling us sanctimonious for having a valid criticism, but he's the one who said like, "Oh, it was not a big deal, you guys. I had a really nice time." As if that was ever anybody's criticism about this choice to go to the fucking Riyadh festival.
Not for nothing, but Bill Burr might want to choose smaller words for his audience. Like he's got a good contingency of fucking. Never mind.
Saudi Arabians?
Yeah, exactly.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think the Saudis are going to know what sanctimonious means. He's going to have to start using more simple words for people who are using English as a second language.
I just don't understand why people can't recognize that they fucked up and that maybe they should undo their fuck up. And
it was the perfect moment for him to rise to the occasion
like,
and go, you know what?
scolding
I've
people?
thought about it, but he fucking comes out and the way he defends this is to fucking literally like label us as
There's absolutely no way that Bill Burr doesn't understand the argument against what he chose to do. There's no way that he doesn't understand it. So he's just choosing to plant his feet and like, die on that fucking hill. It's absurd. It's
memorial. We fucking this fucking guy, sanctimonious. Yeah, how can you use that word when you're talking about you being the one going to entertain murderers? When you talk about you being the one going to entertain, literally, fucking these people kill journalists.
Yeah. Do you think it doesn't matter? Like
sanctimonious?
what do you mean?
So we're all clutching our pearls because we care about people's lives.
It's also one of those
What a
things
fucking
so
weirdo,
he's
bro.
scolding people with words that couldn't possibly land. Nobody who is critical of what Bill Burr chose to do by going and performing for a bunch of Saudi royals believes that they could be labeled as sanctimonious, like genuinely.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
No. There's nothing sanctimonious about that criticism, bro.
No.
It's completely valid criticism and everybody agrees.
Yes.
So him just deciding to fucking plant his feet and like have a little fucking hissy fit about it doesn't make him look any
And
better.
the phony remark is like really
Everybody's
fucking,
calling him fucking tone deaf, bro. And look, he's like, listen, I just cannot hear tone. You understand?
Yeah,
Know?
the phony part is pretty fucking interesting because it really kind of like infers this idea. It implies that like that this whole issue with the Saudi royals and the way in which they treat women and their citizens is made up. That it's some kind of propaganda. That they aren't these fucking absolutely fucking savage people.
It might be propaganda. You have to recognize that the United States.
You really think that it's propaganda?
I don't know. And what I'm saying is what I know about Saudi Arabia, I have been told by American news media, and we are the most propagandized nation in the world.
Yeah, but we do know
So
that
there's
they don't
a
allow
lot that we don't
typically
know.
don't allow women to show their faces. We know this.
Well,
We
Kylie
know that-
DiCaprio is saying, just to let you know, women of Saudi Arabia are allowed to show their faces. I do believe that there's a lot about, especially, okay, so you have to understand that the powers that be are would definitely benefit from convincing all of us that the war that we create, the fucking imperialist project that we do in the Middle East is somehow justified because those people are being tormented by their leadership, right? Like that's definitely something that we can imagine could be like a ploy.
Here's the
You would propagandize Americans about that because you want Americans to think that you're somehow justified in going over there. And what did they say in like air quotes, spreading democracy? You know what I mean? None of that was ever actually true. So we just have to recognize we don't know shit about any of those fucking nations. We only know what we've been told, and we can't trust anything we've been told about them.
Forgive me for my inaccuracies, but seriously, I sincerely forgive me if I'm mischaracterizing anything that happens in Saudi Arabia. But I will say that Amnesty International says the following sentence. April 1st, by the way, 2025, they published on amnesty.org.uk, the reality for people living in Saudi Arabia is one where basic human rights are ignored, their freedoms are restricted, and punishment is severe. And that is a politically correct way to put this shit. So I don't
Can you read those three items again?
Yeah, happily.
You could apply those to the United States too.
The reality.
No, read it again.
I mean, for fuck's sake, Angela.
I'm not saying it's the same.
I understand. I understand
vague.
the shithole that we're in and the shitstorm that we're in this country right now. But we are not. We're headed on a galloping horse toward the kinds of atrocities that the Saudi royals.
Listen, I don't want to redirect your rant onto me. Okay,
I'm not. I'm just saying.
We don't know.
It's not like this.
If you're going on information that you were told by.
Let's move on from the topic, just because I'm not going to sit here and get into an argument about whether or not, with you or anybody, frankly, about whether or not Saudi Arabia and America compare. I'm not interested in that argument because I don't think it's a fair one, and it totally is completely fucking derailing my point, which is that I don't believe that American artists or any artists of any value in the world should be entertaining the fucking royals of Saudi Arabia.
I agree with you.
So that's my fucking issue. Okay. And my issue is because the royals are absolutely 100% one of the largest violators of human rights in the fucking world.
I know, it's
and we
unreal.
know that. you know, and yes, maybe women get to show their faces. What a fucking miracle. What a miracle. They get to show their faces.
I was just thinking, remember when everybody jumped off of TikTok and they went to Red Note, I think was the social media in China?
Yeah.
And they got to talk with a bunch of regular Chinese folk who are on social media.
Yeah.
And it totally like dropped the veil about all of that we had been propagandized against China for in a lot of really, really insidious ways. Like there was a lot of assumptions that we had.
Jane Goodall, before her death, recorded an interview with Netflix, and there's a portion of that interview which she only would allow to be released upon her death. It was released. It's not some crazy incendiary piece, but in it she says that there are some people that she would like to send off to space so that the world could finally be rid of them. All right, so it's pretty interesting that Jane Goodall, probably one of the most important and sort of kindred spirits of our time, kindred persons of our time, is like literally.
She was like, jettison these motherfuckers.
To space,
here's my list.
where they clearly can't survive.
Here's my list. Yeah,
Xi among them.
Yeah, President Xi, right?
Yeah, so it was President Xi, and it was a very small handful of people. She wanted Trump. She wanted Elon Musk.
Yeah.
She wanted President Xi. She wanted Netanyahu and his entire far right government. So I guess in that instance, there's a group of people.
I was just saying, you recognize when the people started to wake up about how we had been lied to about China and how China treats their people, right? I just believe that we Americans have been lied to about a lot of fucking shit, and that we don't even know yet to the extent of what we believe is false, you know? So I'm operating out of total ignorance. I know about Jamil Khashoggi. I know about him. That's enough for me to criticize Bill Burr's. That's enough
wrap.
for me to criticize Bill Burr's choice to fucking go and perform comedy.
For real.
You're nuts.
Yeah. And by the way, this is how they create the facade.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, this is what they do. They start inviting these Western performers to come in and do song and dance. They even had an LGBT female performer flew in, and I don't know if it was her. I think it was her who said that she now regretted actually accepting the invitation and going and doing the show. Probably because she was sitting there staring at a bunch of men and not and finally realizing, holy fuck, this is a scary fucking place.
Yeah.
And not to mention that, I mean, my God, I bet you get the lowdown about what you can and cannot do before you enter the place. By the way, Delicate is just showing up. She's in Italy, and she's going to sleep. It's like 2:45 in the morning. Good night. It's so great that she popped in and said hello. And
I know.
Here's why. I'll think about people who don't show up. Like if there's
really?
Yeah. Well, I really like everybody. And so I think about them. And it's not because I'm like worried that we're not friends or that they're done with us and they've found better ways to spend their evenings. I encourage them to find better ways to spend their evening. But I miss them. Like if Guilty Angel didn't show up, or Erica, or, when Erica sometimes she'll bow out for a couple of days when she's busy. Everybody has lives. Anyway, but I was thinking about Delicate because it's Wednesday and this is the first we've seen of her this week. But just earlier today, I was like, man, I really fucking miss Delicate. Like,
that's so sweet.
I knew she was going to come back because she told me that she was going to Italy. If you recall, she told us. But I was like, man, I'm just missing her, like in the chat and stuff, and just not seeing her there and not like calling her out. And then today she fucking pokes her nose in and says, hey, it's me, peep peep.
You conjured her?
I think so, man. The diamond taking care of us, It's fucking awesome. Anyway, I'm sorry to go so off on Bill Burr, but it's just so upsetting. It's so deeply disturbing because the only way to force change is to deprive them of the things they want. Is to say, I'm not going to give you the benefit of my entertainment. I'm not going to give you the benefit of my money.
I mean, I agree with
you making changes.
I totally agree with you, but it's not even about like forcing change. Like not every one of us is responsible or capable of making changes in, societies all the way across the world. Right. But one thing you can do is fucking not participate. Like that's easy. It's like you're co-signing the agreement, right? Like they're doing a thing and you're co-signing it.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to do that. Nobody's making you do that. Nobody's asking you to. It's just weird. Yes, they got the invitation. They should have said no. It's a fucking very obvious choice. Jesus Christ. Sanctimonious. That's such an amazing...
What a piece of shit.
Such a choice word.
Did
you hear the rest of what he said?
No. I didn't. I got so angry and incensed by
I know.
I just
but I wonder whether...
Now, maybe he said something that makes sense, but it's still, that comes out of your mouth and you get and it gets sound bit into my ears. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting these bites about you calling me sanctimonious and calling me fucking phony when you're the guy accepting bullshit fucking blood money to go and fucking entertain murderers who deserve none of your attention whatsoever.
If you heard the rest of what he said and in context, it changes the meaning.
Then I'll come back here and I'll say, I've got some things I want to add. I'm very upset at Bill Burr.
Yeah.
And I think the way to handle this problem is to take the high road and to admit that maybe you should have thought this out more clearly. That maybe you should have considered more deeply the concerning matters surrounding their behavior and how that behavior affects people living around the world, not just in fucking Saudi Arabia.
It's such an easy choice for a rich guy to make, where he'll come back and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm so regretful. This is so terrible," but he still made that money. Like, why doesn't he just do that? You know, it would be so much easier. It'd be so much easier than like just continuing to dig in the same fucking spot.
Guilty Angel says, I have a good idea for a nonprofit I'd love to set up. Shelter and drug counseling for everyone. And that is like actually literally one of the most perfect ideas. Like in simplicity, complex in its execution, but super, super fucking, it's a brilliant idea. Like, and it's obviously not a new idea. Put people in homes.
Yeah.
Give people an opportunity, a path, a road to recovery. And you'll just fucking, your jaws will drop open at what they'll achieve. But it's never about that. They don't care about it. Look, when you make something out of machinery, you saw something, there's sawdust. Yeah? When you're like, you know, greasing something up, there's a bunch of grease and gel on the side. That's what homeless people are. That's how we're treated. We are just discarded. We are the fucking, the shrapnel of, you know, the metal cutting. We are the fucking sawdust of the boards being sawed.
Of the capitalist machine.
We are. That's what we are. No, that's what we are. They don't care about us. Yeah, we have all these like great ideas because we're sitting around walking around in our own humanity. We get to cross the street and see the homeless guy. You know how I am when we're driving around homeless people. If I can't get to my money in time to get them money, because it might mean that they get a fucking meal that day, I get really upset. Like if I get conkers and whatever and I can't get the money out and I got to end up driving, I'll get upset, especially now if I can't get my mask on, right? Yeah. I'll get fucking upset because it could mean the difference. Yes, some people will be like, don't get their money, they're going to go get drunk. Or maybe they're going to go get a fucking meal. Or maybe with that fucking bottle of beer or bottle of wine, they're going to buy a fucking burger, you know? Save the humans, bro. But anyway, we're just sludge and they're just doing what they're doing. Okay, well, anyway, happier news. Dolly Parton's totally fine. She's going to be great.
No, this is a really interesting topic, though. Shelter and drug counseling for everyone. I think it's. There's a lot of people who are offered social services, right? Who are homeless, and they refuse it. The reason why they're refusing it is because there's some part of the bureaucratic process that is very punishing, and that they don't want to go through with. So they're being. The way access bureaucracy. They're being self-defensive because they don't want to get thrown into the meat grinder against their will, right? Because they don't have anything.
Can I be a little bit rude because I want to try to get these last things in before we go, and I got to go to make my game.
But I was just in the middle of making a point, so let me just finish.
Yes.
So I just feel like if there was a service, if there was a new nonprofit that you would start, it would have to address some part of the process that these people go through in order to begin their rehabilitation that sort of like minimizes the pain that they encounter, like the bureaucratic pain, some way in which they have to be undignified or like lose something. There's a reason why these people are denying help, and it's because it sucks for them. So there's got to be some way to like streamline that. I think that if there was a nonprofit that like sort of made everything work better, because social services and government run anything is always just a big fucking mess.
Yeah, it's a super difficult problem. Like I said, it's really difficult in execution. It's obviously important and correct in terms of concepts, but as far as
in terms of concepts, right.
Execution is another thing.
Right.
And you know, a part of what being a billionaire provides you is the ability to create your own infrastructure to completely dissolve the bureaucracy of government and instead execute on your own, since they get away with the taxing anyway. So. So anyway, a couple other quick things before we go. I am an admirer of people who just achieve great things or just great achievements, really. Not so much, I guess I should say, admirer of just people who achieve great things. Mainly because like I get so disappointed by people on a constant basis. Like here's Bill Burr falling off a fucking cliff right before my eyes, and he was like the greatest comic living in my opinion.
So unnecessarily.
It just absolutely destroys my heart, and that's why I'm so passionate about it.
There's no fucking reason for it.
But the Nobel is handing out their awards has handed out their awards, and they gave one to a prize winner. And I don't even know what the prize is, but I just fucking love people. Like, there are people who just achieve greatness and then they just get on with it. And this person,
What happened?
He's been awarded a Nobel Prize, but they cannot find him because he is, quote, living his best life, close quote, and he's hiking off of the grid. So this guy won the Nobel Prize, got a bag of money, he's got absolutely every fucking, whatever journal, every country in the world wants to have a chat with him.
He reached the pinnacle of his professional achievements.
Yes.
And he's
unavailable for comment.
They can't even find him.
But he's living the best
life. Because he's in the wilderness somewhere?
He's in the wilderness, man. He's living his best life. I think that's the greatest thing ever. Like, of all things to be fucking...
It's pretty
do you know what I
great.
mean? It's not like he's like, he's busy, whatever, saving seals or whatever. No. This guy's like, smoking ayahuasca or whatever. And
that's probably why he's such a high
ayahuasca or whatever.
achiever, is because he understands that you have to balance your hard work with, like, fucking off into the woods. That's so great.
I fucking love it. I read it and it just put a big smile on my face because it's harder to get a smile on my face these days, and that was one that worked. Interesting, a little tidbit. Bad news for I think a lot of the GOPers, but Denmark is banning social media for people under 15 years old.
Oh.
So you won't be going to get the young kiddies under 15.
Yeah, well, that's so
Denmark.
smart because I think they're like, hey, we have a real problem with literacy.
Yeah.
Because
I think it was also, predation. Like these.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Totally.
Yeah, for sure.
But also, like, I think that people's attention spans are cooked, and if you're doing that to people while their brains are forming, it's really hard to get that back. Like,
my brother's children hated him, but they were not getting phones until they were 15. And that was his
I thought
threshold.
you were just saying that randomly.
No, they hated him for this.
Because
Yeah. No, they love him. They
he
love him.
prohibited.
Yeah, they love him. I mean, as far as I know, I don't really talk to
No,
them.
I know. I bet it's a big argument in a lot of households where they don't want their teens to have phones, but we fucking know better because we grew up without them.
Denmark has been consistently at the top of the world surveys for happiest places to live on Earth.
Because they do shit like this.
And it's just because they do shit like this.
Yeah.
If you want to go to a place, like, I had the privilege of living there for a very short period of time. But I was in the culture for 6-7 months, and they have their socialist democracy, and they just take care of you. Like, I'll give you a good example. David Stutman, fuck that guy. He broke his arm. Sorry to hear it. And he went to the hospital with a broken arm in Denmark. And they were like, oh yeah, fuck, that's why X-rays broken. He's sitting there like, he's an American. He's shitting his pants. He's like, oh my God, this is going to cost me. I don't have any money. We're getting paid per diem only, $50 a day. That's our fucking, we're just living on food money. That's it. We got an apartment that they're paying for. They give us $50 a day for food. And that's a wrap for us. So, he's sitting there shitting himself because they're putting, they got X-rays, cast, reset, all this other stuff. Zero. They didn't even ask him for his ID.
What?
They didn't even ask him for his fucking ID. They just took his name down, said what happened, got him in a room, fixed him, and sent him on the road.
How do you break his arm?
I don't fucking know. He fell down. I don't know. Probably fucking karma.
Every time I hear that Denmark has such a high rating for happiness,
Yeah.
like citizens are super happy, I always wonder how that could be possible with their cuisine.
Honestly, dude, it was the toughest part of living there.
How can you guys be happy when
Bro.
you're eating stinky, bland, like beige food
Now, this is, of
that
course,
stinks like fish?
20 years ago or whatever, but they loved, more than 20 years ago, they loved sandwiches back then. Like, oh my God. But they touched no food with their hands because of the Black Plague. No food. Burgers,
So
everything.
they eat sandwiches with a knife and fork?
Everything they eat with a knife and fork. Their hands do not touch food. You cannot, like,
What's the fun
they
of a
look at you like,
sandwich
what
if
the
you-
fuck are you doing? When you're like, they're like, what the fuck is wrong
What's
with
the
you
fun
people?
of a sandwich if you can't pick it up and bite it?
I never understood it, but the worst part about
It's
it,
like gift wrapped so that you can hold it.
I was like, then don't have one.
What's the fun?
Don't have a fucking sandwich.
Why would you eat a slice of bread with a knife and fork?
I couldn't believe it too because I was literally like, why won't you guys eat a burger with your, I was like, I noticed you guys don't eat your burgers with your, because I'm sitting there like, oh, no. I noticed that you guys are, hang on. And the fucking, and they're like, well, it was because of the plague.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
your filthy eating habits.
Oh, maybe you might be right about this, actually. Think about it. I kind of taste my hand on this bun. And it's pretty scary. And pretty funny.
Guilty Angel said Stutman and his lipo.
Yeah, that guy and his lipo, all right. Let me see. I think
Mr. Hand said they fixed Stutman's broken arm, and he was like, no, liposuction it.
big fucking warning.
Stutman was like, no, I don't want to cast. I want you to liposuction.
Yeah. No. Hang on. Actually, while you're there, by the way, does it require surgery? Because maybe you could take a pat of fat out.
Isn't that kind of fucked up that everybody just equates Stutman with his lipo on our chat? Like
Since he got it.
They don't even know him.
Yeah.
They know his name, and they think liposuction.
I got some very sort of foreboding news for younger women.
I don't want foreboding. You can keep it.
Just let me get it out. Who want to hook up with like older men and have babies, and by older, like however older. Like we got this De Niro, 83 years old. He's a dad. Science says bad fucking idea.
Yeah.
Here's what they're showing. They're saying that older men are more likely to pass on disease-causing mutations to their children because of the faster growth of mutant cells in the testes that have aged.
Yeah.
So, man, it really does become extremely selfish for these elderly men to be like, I think I'm ready to bring upon my heirs.
Not just that. So it's not only about the effect of the infant and the person you're creating, right?
Yeah.
But these kind of diseases can also affect the pregnancy. So a woman could have like no genetic predisposition for a difficult pregnancy, but they could be given diseases from these mutations that makes their pregnancy difficult and could result in them being severely injured.
You know, it's interesting, because
fucked up.
they've talked about things like there's always this conversation about why the increase, such a dramatic increase year over year in spectrum disorders like autism and Asperger's and so on and so forth.
Yeah, they don't call it Asperger's anymore, though.
Okay, well, I don't know. Thank you. But to my point, I'm saying that I wonder if there's a correlation with, because like everybody's older daddy now. Like, my dad had his kids in his 20s. My brother had his kid. No, my brother kids are both fine. Well, actually, my nephew had absolutely the worst allergy disorder right from birth. Like this kid can barely look at anything and not get hives. He's got a pen on him at all times, so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. But aside from that, it just like struck me as like a wonder if, there's a correlation in some way to any of these increases, even if it's not spectrum sort of disorders, but other issues that we see because men in their even late 30s, early 40s are seeing mutations.
Yeah, I mean, if they're saying, genetic mutations, I mean, you either create like the next iteration of the evolved human being through mutations.
So what is barren? What is barren? What does that make barren?
Oh, I don't fucking know.
Is barren like the devil child? Because of bad testicles?
I don't know. I'm not trying to...
It's like a funny piece of dialogue you have with some kid. You're born from bad testicles. You're made of bad testicles.
You shouted that really loud.
Yeah, it was a little loud. Oh, yeah, the neighbors. Anyway, that's all I got.
That's all you got?
Yeah.
That's it?
Guys, I want to get into the chat, but I can't get into the chat because I got to go get into the baseball game. We are going to be live tomorrow at 6 p.m. I'm telling you as much as I'm telling me as much as I'm telling you. Tomorrow
at 6.
Live, 6 p.m.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about whether or not that's going to become a more permanent thing. But for now, and thank you for your voting yesterday on that. Thank you for your likes and all your love tonight. I totally appreciate you so much. And I think I tell you that every day and I won't stop. So I do hope you'll come back to hear it again tomorrow, where we'll be beginning at 6 p.m. And we're going to get into these other, I'm assuming that by tomorrow, we'll probably start seeing things like the Sarowitz tapes. I think tomorrow might be a pretty juicy day.
A big drop.
Because I don't even think that we've really gotten into the depths of this Freedman lawsuit that I'm truly excited about. So I want to read that complaint and get more, and try to weigh in on some opinion and see if we can bring you some insight on that as well. And, just fucking hang out with you guys because you guys are dope. Baron Trump, born from bad testicles.
Stop it, Dale.
It's a fact.
You're gonna attract the worst people to your comment section if you start talking like this.
Start talking about people's bad testes?
No, just that fucking family.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Leave it.